Welcome. Hope you guys can see me. Hope you guys can hear me. Hope everything looks and sounds great. Today, we are going to be doing a tier list, as you guys could tell by the thumbnail. But before we hop into that in the stream, if you're watching the VOD, like if you're watching this after the stream has aired and you're looking at the tiers, if I don't have timestamps, pay attention to the hot seat. That'll be your best bet. Whatever character's in the hot seat is the character that I'm talking about, just in case there's no timestamps, because this is live, so there's no chop up and edits and stuff like that. So just if you are watching the VOD, just be sure, pay attention to the hot seat. Just skip past where you want to go, look at who's in that hot seat, and you'll find your character there. Back to the stream. How are you guys doing? Zaya, hello, I see you. Leaf Nelson, hello, good to see you. Puka, I'm surprised you're here. Not gonna lie, you must be bored today. Who else do we have here? Saliege, if I said that wrong, I'm sorry. What's up? Good to see you. Manjin Lettuce, hello. Top tier Marvel Rivals creator right here. I appreciate that. I don't know about that, but I appreciate that. I'll take it. Love the content. You've helped me learn so much. Well, don't worry, because there's going to be some more content I'm popping out after the stream. I didn't want to do it before because I didn't want to compete with the stream, but I'm going to be dropping a video today, so keep an eye out for that. It's sort of the follow-up to what I said about tanks. So I'm going to be dropping the how to know when to peel when you're a tank. So if you guys are like, I don't know what to do when I'm a tank and my team gets dove, and this video should help you with that. Hopefully it's not too complicated or too messy. I tried my best, but it's a weird topic to talk about, but that's going to be uploaded too. So that'll be okay. Salig, is that better? Instead of not so harsh on the G, so it's Salig instead of Salige, it's Salig, or is it Salig? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. Y'all know I can't do names. If y'all don't watch me for years, y'all know names and Papa don't mix at all. So I apologize. Victor, what's up? Pachi, hello. Good to see you. Jalen, what's good? David, hello. Got from gold 2 to plat. You're gaming. Fumes, hello, good to see you. Carrie, good to see you. Also, just big shout out to the members that you guys see. We got Carrie, we got Zaya, we got Fumes. I feel like we're missing someone. Oh yeah, Nelson, we're missing him too. Nelson was way at the top already. I already said hey before the stream even started, but also appreciate you guys being the members and anyone other members that are lurking that didn't say anything. Marvel Rivals is my first hero shooter. There's been a lot to learn. Yeah, it was I played Overwatch, the first one. I didn't play so much as 2, but I played the first one, so it's not my first hero shooter, but I didn't dive too crazy deep into that game after like the first few months of it. So I guess I can say the same, but not my first hero game. So, you know, there you go with that. Kato, hello. Good to see you. Hello. All right, let's get this started. Let's get this cracking. Let's get this popping. That wasn't intentional. I just happened to say it right then and there. So we have a couple of tier list sections here. Okay, so we have S tier, which is going to be the point generator. So these characters are going to be the characters that are just freaking, you play them, you'll probably end up winning. You don't even really need to necessarily play well. Just the fact that this character is hard to deal with by the enemy needs to know how to deal with you, makes you just win games, because they might get frustrated at their team, they might start tilting, they might just ignore you because they can't deal with you. So these are going to be the characters where it's like you just win because the enemy doesn't really know how to beat you. That'll be those characters. Pop off or lose, gonna be these characters where it's kind of like a 50-50, like either you can play your game or you can't. If you can, you roll over games. If you can't, you lose. It's pretty simple. B is going to be the balanced choices. So these are just going to be the characters that are generally just considered good. Nothing too crazy broken about them and nothing too bad about them. They're just pretty much good characters. You have C, which is takes more effort. These are going to be the characters that are, they work, but you're probably going to lose before you start winning because you have to learn so much about that character. And then you have D, which is going to be not worth the effort. These are the characters that I feel if you're generally trying to climb, you probably shouldn't be playing these characters. You can play whoever you want. I always say that no matter the tier list, whether it's from me, someone else, anything like that, play who you enjoy and who you love, because games are meant to have fun. But this list is strictly for if you want to start winning games and start climbing. These will be the characters that I'm going to be talking about. This is also a solo queue tier list. So if you play with 6 people every single time you play ranked, this obviously will not apply to you. This is for players that play by themselves, maybe with another person, maybe with a 3 people group, maybe. But this is just more of like the characters that are just, when you don't have a lot of communication with your team, we're talking about it that way, all right? So now that we understand everything here, we can hop up into it. Whew, this is gonna be, we already know we're about to have some controversial topics up in here. Ramazan, hello, good to see you. Cloudy Crow, what's good? Hello, hello. Hey, can you make a video telling DPS how to DPS? Why me as the healer gotta destroy the Groot walls and penny nest because my DPS ain't doing it? Well, let me tell you this. That ain't gonna change. Whether you're PC, whether you're console, whether you're high rank or low rank. The thing is, people aren't intentionally ignoring it. They just are not paying attention to it, if that makes sense. So usually when that happens is they just don't, they feel like the job of killing someone is more important than destroying the nest. Someone else will do it, but if everybody on your team says someone else will do it, well then nobody does it, right? That's typically what happens. So that usually is it. Nice, got here in time. Yes, you did, Cloudy. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing that we have is Adam Warlock. Okay, if you guys don't know, Adam Warlock is one of my main characters. So he got a buff, which was good. It was to his soulbind. The soulbind ability makes it so that he attaches himself to other players and increases the defense of everybody. However, well, it doesn't really increase the defense. It just lowers the damage. So essentially speaking, if I tag 3 people, whoever gets hit, we're all going to take the damage and it's spread out. This means that even though you're a healer, you're actually causing other people to take damage and basically die. I've seen so many Adam Warlock players, whether it's high rank or low rank, not really understand how to use that ability, and all my HP is gone, like all of it. Like I'm getting ready to go in as Star-Lord, here I go, he does his thing, someone gets exploded, and like my HP is gone. And I'm just like, well, I guess I just sit here and wait for heals because you just basically ruined my entire game plan. So like Adam Warlock requires you to know how to play the game. On top of that, his abilities needs you to be somewhat close, which means that you might end up in a situation where you die, especially in high ranks. Lower ranks, Adam Warlock, you know, positioning might not be too harmful to you, but in high ranks, if you position even a little bit too close, somebody's gonna get you. And the fact that he has no escape, his heals are limited. Like he can't repeatedly heal like Cloak and Dagger, Rocket. Like he can't keep pumping him. He has a cooldown on it. So after he heals twice, it's done. After he soul binds, it's done. And he's not really a character. And then once you start using your ultimate, everybody reses in that circle and anybody can just walk up and kill everybody. So like the thing is, he requires so much work. I honestly don't think he is worth the effort here. That's my thought process. I don't think he's worth the effort. I don't think he's worth like learning, unless you just really love the character. And if you really love Adam Warlock, play him. But if you're like, Poppin', I need a healer, recommend me one, it's never gonna be this one. I think in order for this character to function, for anyone that doesn't want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours on trying to play this character, they're gonna need to give him another heal. The reason why other healers feel so good is because your team can suck, but you can give them life back pretty much on a very short cooldown, right? If you go in, you take some damage, your healer can heal you. Adam Warlock doesn't work like that. You need to know when the fight starts. If people are taking chip damage before the fight starts, you burn everything to save them. If the fight literally starts as your 30-second soulbind cooldown is down, and I think your snap heal is 5 seconds, that is a long time, 5 seconds, before you can heal again, and it's not even that great if people are clumped. That's way way too much of a disadvantage to you and your team. And so usually if you do play this character, you don't really know what you're doing, you're going to realize you can't heal everybody. You're going to start losing team fights. He's just not worth it, in my opinion, even though I love the character. He just needs more. But I don't think, like, I don't really know what their vision is for this character, to be honest. Like, I think he just needs a rework. Like, I don't know where the strength lies in this character. Like, whatever Adam can do in any shape or form, other healers can do it 1,000 times better. Damage, Cloak and Dagger will just out damage an Adam Warlock because she doesn't have to aim, right? Adam does a lot of damage, but you have to aim. Cloak and Dagger does not. Healing, well, Rocket can literally sit from miles away around the corner and pop a heal. Might as well just play Rocket. And he can escape. What do you do? Like, you don't do anything. Rezzing, play Rocket. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But for my personal experience, and I play this character in low rank and high rank, he just ain't worth it right now. As much as I love this character, he is not worth it. After every character, I'm going to look and just see what you guys have to say about it, check chat and whatnot. So I'm not going to ignore you guys. I just want to get through the character first, and then we'll hop off and we'll have a little chat about what you guys think. He's lacking? Yeah, the character is lacking. I love him though. But I just don't know. I don't know where the design like choice is. You know, some characters you can see the design from the developers, like, oh, you're trying to make that character like that, right? But Adam Warlock, like, what are they doing? I don't understand specifically what they're doing, you know? Wait, they're not even slander. I'm just being honest. Like, if you want to climb and you want to climb quickly, that character is not going to do it. One of the reasons because, you know, he's very hard to play and you're probably not going to be able to, your team's not going to be able to work with you properly, or your team's just going to tilt. The higher you get in rank, the more picking characters that people don't like is going to tilt your team. They're going to be so frustrated that you picked the character. I played Adam Warlock and Celestial. These people are still, you would think people by Celestial be all right. People are still, don't play Adam Warlock, pick a different character, and then they just rage the whole time. And it's like, it's not even worth it, bro. Like, it's not even worth it. Even in Eternity, these people, I don't know. These people do not want you to play anything else. I get it. You're really high in rank and you don't want to lose rank. I feel you, but like, fam, if I'm your rank, that definitely means I'm good enough to be here. But it's like people just do not want to see you pick these characters. So that's why he's not worth it. You're going to tilt your team. Probably not going to play that well. Just not worth it. All right, next character we have in the hot seat, Black Panther. Ooh, that boy Black Panther. He didn't get touched this patch, but he got touched last patch. And what they did to him was they decreased his survivability. As of right now, with this new patch, there's a lot of things. I feel like this patch is like low-key a soft anti-dive patch. A lot of the characters have ways to deal with divers now. I don't know if you like know this unless you really, really pay attention. But like there's the Thing, there's Mr. Fantastic, Venom got an increase to be able to snatch people up when he slams, he can snatch them kind of back a little bit. I feel like there's some more, but I'm missing. Regardless, a lot of these characters have ways to kind of push you or pull you or knock you or keep you. And in a meta like that, because I'm seeing a lot of it, especially Mr. Fantastic once you get to high ranks, in a meta like that, I feel like Black Panther isn't that great anymore. The problem with Black Panther is he's very hard to hit and stop, right? But we have a meta of 3 healers at this point. We have a meta of grabbing characters that generally have CC, especially in high rank. Almost everyone drafts a CC type of character, crowd control, which just disables this character. And if you didn't know, you can stop this guy's windup. So like Black Panther can be interrupted mid combo, and a lot of what's being chosen right now are things that can do it with ease. Mantis, Mr. Fantastic, the Thing. I feel like I'm missing. Oh yeah, Venom, Penny. Like all these characters could just like stop this guy with ease. You don't really need to be a great player to stop them. And as you climb in rank, players get better and better and better at doing that, which means you're gonna have a hard time playing this character. The character is still good, but in my opinion, you're definitely on the, you either pop off or lose. If the enemy team allows you to play the game, doesn't really draft 3 healers, or maybe they're not that great, doesn't really focus on you when it comes to CC, you will dominate. But if the entire team is aware and knows how to stop you, you're not gonna really be able to play this character like ever, especially if they just decide to pick flyers. Panther can deal with things that fly, but man, it's difficult. You really only see people that have like hundreds of hours into that character who really know how to deal with flying characters. Otherwise, they just ignore them. And the point of this tier list is to judge the characters on players who's not spending 100+ hours being lords on the character, you know? It's more of like, Poppin', if I wanted the character, could you recommend me one? Which one would it be? That's kind of what it's about. So in my opinion, Black Panther's on pop off or lose. He kind of is a hit or miss. There's no in between. Panther either sucks or he's dominating. He doesn't offer anything else for the team. He's a very selfish character. If you can't kill, you're just a bot. If you can kill, you're running over the game. It's kind of just how it works with that character, unfortunately. As much as I like Black Panther, I think it's a cool character, but just people have just gotten so much better at this game now. You know, maybe in the first season 0, when people were climbing and all that, people sucked. Literally everybody sucked. The game just came out. So really the only top ranked players were people who played beta. Not really necessarily people who deserve top rank. That sounds toxic, but you know, listen to me. They didn't necessarily deserve it at that time. Everybody else just sucked. So people that got that high were just already played the game. Black Panther is one of those characters that like really dominates if you suck. If you don't know what to do, he's gonna just destroy you. If you don't know where to stand, he's gonna destroy you. Now, the game's been out for a while. People understand how to deal with threats. People understand more or less where to stand, where not to stand. People understand these maps. And so it's a lot harder now to win with that character. So that's where my thought process lies with that. What do y'all got to say? Black Panther needs a little love, to be honest. Okay, I see you. I'm not sure that ever. I don't really know. I didn't even know he had a hit register issue. Honestly, I've never experienced it, but I don't really know if they want to buff this character too much because he is really, the kid is strong. I don't know what they'll do, to be honest, because when he gets low, he has more damage, right? The lower he gets, the more damage he has. So they kind of back themselves on a wall a little bit with this character, just a little bit, just a little. But you know, get Black Panther out of my game. So this man dashing and running like they flash away. That's the thing, though. When it comes to Black Panther, this character is like, he doesn't actually kill you unless he kills you, if that makes sense. When he runs in, if you're not in kill threat range, he won't kill you. But people generally don't think like that. Like, people think if they're coming for me, I'm gonna die. But eventually, when you understand this guy's numbers and when you understand how low of a threat range you have to be in order to be KO'd by this character, you eventually just ignore him because you know you're not any threat. If I get speared, dashed into, right? I know that I have about 1 or 2 more dashes to outplay this guy before I'm dead. He has to go, turn around, and then I'll die, right? So I have a few seconds to play the game still. If I throw down a heal, which then brings me back to full, he has to do the entire combo all over again, which means I can ignore you for longer. And so it's a psychological character. But once you start to realize, bro, Black Panther don't really have any damage after I heal myself back to full HP, you just ignore this character. He can't really, like, he's got to be on point. Like, he's got to be on point in order for Black Panthers to really kill people. And I think that's kind of like where he's lacking. Like, I will see some really good Black Panthers and I'm like, all right, you just win, I guess. but they're very few far in between, bro. Seriously. Jesus. Okay, let's move on. Next we have Black Widow. So Black Widow, one of my characters that I like playing no matter what rank it is. It's just a fun character, especially when I like to relax. The thing about Black Widow right now, well, she just got a buff, but it didn't really do anything. Like, personally, didn't really do anything. I don't really know what the direction is for a lot of these characters, but the buff that they went for Black Widow was more like if you're pre-made, if your team can take advantage of what you're doing, because she has an invulnerability, I'm sorry. She makes the character that she ults more vulnerable, so they take more damage. That being said, unless you're on comms or your team is very aware, not only of Black Widow, but just of the change to Black Widow, they're not going to know that you ulted and just go for the kill now. You know what I mean? So I think what they're doing is kind of not the direction. Black Widow to me is more of a selfish character. So I feel like she needs more of a selfish buff. And I think the direction that they're bringing her is like team-oriented sniper. And bro, that don't work. I don't know any game that has a sniper that's team-oriented. Bro, they're selfish. That's what being a sniper is. It's like, bro, I don't know what you guys are, but I'm way back here, and good luck. I'll pop some shots if I can, but you're on your own. So, I don't really know. I don't really know what they want to do, what they plan to do. But she ain't it right now. The only time that you could really do something is if you're on fire and you have to be landing all your shots. You have to be really in the state of flow where you are like heightened aware. You're godlike. You know, we've all had those experiences where you play one night or something or day, whatever, and you have like a string of games where you're like on fire, like you're God mode. It goes away eventually, but you're so good. And you're like, why can't I play like this all the time? That's how Black Widow works. Except when you're not on fire, she's useless because you need to land shots in order to be useful. And if you're not landing shots, you're not really contributing in any way. On top of that, she needs to two-tap people. If you headshot anything, you usually have to shoot them again on their body or their head if you gotta act like that. But I usually go head body. The problem with this is that with 3 healers too, it's very hard to do that in succession, especially in high ranks, because they're really fast at healing once they get low. And your team might not even target the person you just shot. There was only one game, and this was a high rank game. I think, maybe it was Platinum. Maybe it wasn't a high rank game. I think it was Platinum. I played Black Widow in Platinum, and I don't know what it was, but I fired a shot on someone else killed it. I was like, wait a second, that don't happen. Maybe it was a fluke. Fired another shot, they killed it. I was like, hold up, do we got synergy? I was like, okay, let me not get excited. You know, I waited patiently, looked for another headshot. Bow, dude's low. Dude killed him. I was like, this guy goes for every single snipe that I go for. That type of gameplay is broken. But you don't get that type of gameplay. It's rare. It's super rare. Like out of all the games, whether high rank or low rank, you don't get that type of gameplay where people really understand, like, I shot them. They're low. Go, 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 go. You don't get that. And so, like I said, she's too team-oriented right now. And if you're playing solo, which is what this list is for people that aren't playing in pre-mades or stacked lobbies, you're not going to get a lot out of her unless you are just in the zone. And I'm talking about auto zone. So I'm going to just say that she is not worth the effort right now. She's above, like, Adam Warlock is above her. Like, I would still recommend Adam Warlock over Black Widow, but yeah, she ain't worth it right now. You're gonna lose a lot more games than you win 1,000% of the time. Like, there is not one Black Widow player that got good at Black Widow and is like, yeah, bro, I'm repping a 60% win rate. No, you're gonna start and you're gonna suck. You're gonna suck for hours and hours and hours, and once you finally get it, you're still gonna lose because you don't pump any damage, or you do, but you know, you don't get the kills, so you're gonna lose even more. Like, you're not, it's gonna be rough. And I really love the character. I actually am the type of person that spent hours losing and losing and losing with this character, and I just know she's not it right now. That's all. If I see a Widow on our team, I know we're cooked. You see, that's the mentality right there, Matt. That's the mentality right there, especially at high ranks where it's like, people are already tilted when you pick her. And rightfully so, because most of them are pretty lackluster. But you do have those rare ones who actually do understand, you know, what to do. Usually. But most of the time, yeah, they're not going to be impactful. They're not going to do that much. And that's just because, like I said, her kit isn't selfish enough. She needs to be that type of character where it's like, if you pick Widow, you're playing for yourself. And I don't think they don't want to go the full Overwatch route, because I know Widowmaker, she like one bangs, right? Like if she pops you in your head, you're probably dead. They don't want to go that route, but they also don't go full team route where it's like Ana, as an example, you know, she can snipe, but like she's very helpful. She's a support. They don't want to go that route either. So like, where are y'all going? You know what I mean? You can't have best of both worlds. You need to pick a lane. So I think that's why she's kind of struggling right now. All right, let's go. Let's move on to Captain America. So Captain America, one of my main tanks, over, I don't even know. I want to say over like 150 hours. I mean, I've been playing a lot of characters because I've been playing a lot of accounts to try to get content for the channel and all that extra good stuff. But for the most part, he is one of my main tanks. I don't play him all the time. You know, I do realize that sometimes you just can't play this guy, especially in high ranks. Like you're not pulling him off. But when I can play him, I play him, and I feel like I am better than average on Captain. If people are banning me out because they recognize my name, I'm pretty sure I'm good enough with this character to be a threat. So I think that I have quite a bit of experience on this character to talk pretty in depth about him. So Captain, one of the main things about Captain is you can shoot him in his legs and he will take damage. Okay, not a lot of people know this. So essentially, when you're constantly jumping in the air, even though you buffed his shield where he can hold it in the air, you can still hit this guy. His shield is also not as strong as Strange's. I think his shield is 400 and Strange is 8. So it's half. He's kind of hard to control in terms of if people have... His movement is funky. Like, anybody who's ever tried Captain America for the first time, that guy is funky compared to like other characters. You're gonna have to spend some time with him to get used to his movement and how he behaves. And even then, you still find yourself in really awkward situations where you overjump or something dumb like that. The main thing about Captain is that he's easy to press buttons with, but he's hard to play. Like, there's like two types of Captain players, right? There's a Captain player that just jumps on somebody and just runs at him forever, and either the Captain dies or the target dies, and then they just repeat the process. Those are like, I don't want to say like they're brain dead because that's not really accurate, but they're kind of like Thor players, right? You have Caps that play like Thor, where it's like, bro, there's no chill. I'm just there. If I die, I die, but I'm there. Like, that's how most people play Captain. Then you have people that, like myself, that plays them a little bit more strategically, you know, a little bit more patient, a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? More of an opportunist. And in lower ranks, generally, when you run at people, especially the backline, they don't care about you at all. I don't know when this stops. I really cannot remember. Maybe you guys can help me out when it stopped in like your rank or if you in your experience. But usually, if you're in like gold, people will jump your backline and like nobody cares at all. Nobody's turning around. Nobody's dealing with the character. Or vice versa, everyone turns around and tries to deal with the character. It's like either way, Captain is successful in low ranks. Like either way. And if that does not work, most Captain players have no clue how to play the game, like zero. And that's right there is rough because the character will teach you bad habits. Then once you get to higher ranks and people understand what this character does and how he plays, and you try to behave the exact same way, you're gonna get like, you're gonna start demoting. Like I guarantee you're gonna start demoting. I promise you. And so I think the fact that his hitbox is very small, his damage is kind of negatable. Like you can negate his damage so much it feels like you don't do any. I'm pretty sure if any of you guys have played Captain America for quite some time, you guys know there's some times where you're swinging at a target and it's like, bro, looking at your watch, I've been here for about 3 seconds and I didn't see your HP go nowhere. Like, you know, so there's those moments. And so this is what I mean, like, when you think about what Captain America does, every other character in the game that is a tank does it better than he does. Diving, the Hulk does it better. Damage, Hulk does it better. Protecting, Strange does it better. Protecting, Magneto does it better. Like, what does Cap actually do differently? He's one of those characters where it's like, it's there for if you like him. If you don't like him, you're not losing out. You know what I mean? Like, if you play Strange, if you don't play Strange, you're missing out. Why? The character is freaking good. But if you don't play Captain, okay, I'll play Strange. If you don't play Captain, I'll play Thor. If you don't play Captain, I'll play Hulk. Like, what are you missing out on if you don't play this character? So in my opinion, because he's not really good at anything, he's good at everything, but he's not great at anything. There's a saying, and I always ask people because I forget. What is it? It's a master at none. That's like the ending of it. Does anyone know that saying? Master at none, master of none. What is that? Freaking jack of all trades, master of none? Something like that. Y'all know. But basically, that's him. He literally is not great at anything. He's just good at everything. He's all round. In my opinion, especially to be like stomping games and climbing solo, you're gonna end up in a situation. Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. So I kind of had it. You're right. I kind of had it. You're gonna end up in a situation where it's like, okay, dude, this is what I'm saying. You have to kind of be better than average at Captain for Captain to work, especially at high ranks. It's really just a knowledge check or a skill check. Does the enemy team know how to deal with the Captain? If so, you're not going to be successful, period. And that's kind of the frustration with this character. I love him though. He's my man's. I think he just takes more effort. All right, so I think he's C. He's not awful inherently, and I don't think his design's bad. I don't think he needs a rework. I don't think he really needs anything. It's just the type of character they created, the design that they created. It wasn't really meant to excel. You know, some games do have characters like that. They're typically not meant to excel anywhere. They're just, if you know how to play specific situations, they're flexible. That's the point. And that's that type of character. He's very flexible, but just like, you know, if you're like, bro, I want to recommend me a tank, recommend me a tank. I'm trying to get to diamond. I will not tell you to play Captain America unless you have hours to put into this guy before you start actually winning games. Oh my God. As much as I love this character, I like Captain. Derek says, I like Captain, but it feels hard to do a lot by myself. Definitely feels like he needs backup. Yeah, it definitely feels like that. And you're talking to someone, I'm a Lord Captain. I've solo tanked in high ranks and low ranks. I've solo tanked on Convoy, Domination, Convergence, Defense, and Offense. This dude is my man. And so I'm telling you with like personal experience in every category this character could be played. You have to put in so much more work than anybody else. It's kind of like, do you really feel like it? If climbing is your goal, do you think you have about 10s of 20s of 30s of hours to just spend on a character? Or do you just feel like, nah, it's okay, I'll play a different one? You know, that will do the same thing and better without as much work. You know what I mean? As less thought process. So that's just how I feel about it. You also need to learn Cap's auto cancel to be good with them. I mean, Joe. It's Joe Tato. I actually like that. I'm not a mechanical guy. So obviously I know how to do it because I just played so many games with this character. but I'm not really a mechanical guy. There's like mechanics you need to know as a character. If we say like Star-Lord, right? The flip reload mechanic, that's important. There's like no Star-Lord player that's like, don't worry about flipping and reloading at the same time. It's fine. You need to know how to do that. But that's a necessity. You have to know. There's the other side of mechanics where it's like, if you have hundreds of hours into characters, you could pull something off, but it doesn't really make it so that you win or lose the game. It's just cool that you do it. That's how I feel captain's cancels are. It's not really necessary. It's just there, you know? Whether or not you can cancel will not make or break your game. What will make or break your game is whether or not you know how to play the character in any given situation that it puts you in. So I do agree that the cancels are useful, but I don't think that'll make or break a captain player, personally. Your decision making with the character is what will bring you to it. All right, let's move on. We're gonna take it to Cloak and Dagger. Great insights, by the way. I like reading what you guys think. You guys definitely should be doing this tier list. But let's move on to Cloak and Dagger. So Cloak and Dagger got buffed and nerfed this patch. Their ult is now shorter. It's 8 seconds per wave, like per smoke wave. It's 4 dashes, but 8 seconds per wave. Now you can overlap it, but overlapping it does not increase the heals, but it just increases the duration. You know, if you think about it, you go 8 seconds and you overlap again. Well, then you just added an extra 8 seconds to what was already ticking down. So essentially you're increasing the duration, but it's 8 seconds. They also buffed the healing per line, like per wave, because it doesn't stack anymore. So they buffed the healing on that. They also buffed damage on Cloak. The damage buff that you get from throwing the purple square out. Y'all like popping names. I don't know the names. I just know what they do. So they buffed it from 20% to 28%. That being said, I do feel playing against a Cloak and Dagger now is much more manageable than playing against a Cloak and Dagger last patch and patch before. Without a doubt, that nerf was necessary. Like, my God, how OP Cloak and Dagger was before. That being said, none of them buffs targeted her being broken. I don't really know what to say. Cloak and Dagger still does Cloak and Dagger stuff. You just made my window shorter. Boo-hoo. Like, at the end of the day, bro, I'm still Cloak and Dagger. I'll dog you. And so this character is still mega strong. She's still giga busted. There's no Cloak and Dagger meme that got hit by that nerf. It was like, I guess I need to find a new main. No, these fools are like, yeah, nice try, Marvel Rivals, but I'm still dogging. This does nothing. This changes nothing. Congratulations. Now, I do know that they buffed they nerfed the time that it takes to get her ultimate, but the duration of how long it takes to get it was not necessarily why Cloak and Dagger was strong. It's more of what the character gives its team. The character is easy to play. The character does bonus damage to targets. The character just does insane damage in general. The character has an infinite range on healing, basically. The character has an AoE bubble zone that heals. The character, like, her ult is a great way to engage a fight. If you have no clue how to get on the point, just ult. The character, she is everything. She's, without a doubt, still one of the best characters and healers in the game, hands down. She is a point generator. Remember, point generators are usually characters that will give you free points. If you play them more often than not, you are winning your match. Now, if there's a mirrored match and you have a Cloak and Dagger on the enemy team, better Cloak wins. But for the most part, whenever you play this character, your chances of winning just go up higher because she's just that strong. So, in my personal opinion, although she got nerfed a bit, they still gave her something. It was a push and pull nerf buff. And they didn't really hit anything that made her strong. Yes, it helped, but it didn't make her strong. You know what I mean? It's like with what they did with Captain, where they allowed you to raise your shield mid-jump. It helps, but that's not what's going to make them broke. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing for her. It's like it's not making her broke because you take away 2 seconds off of a dash. Like, but the speed increase is great for Magneto, which makes it even better. I feel like he does better on domination than convoy. That's what Burden said on Captain America. I do think so too. It's because domination is more chaotic. Terror Cape? That's a good name. So Lig says, I like Cloak and Dagger as a character, but I feel like some players really have no idea what to do regarding when they should switch to apply pressure and when they should heal. That is true. A lot of Cloak and Dagger players that I went against in lower ranks typically do not know when to switch. And then you can also tell in higher ranks if they main it, because I'll limit test with them. A good way to do this, I'm telling on Cloak and Dagger players, dude, I swear, no matter what video it is, no matter what stream it is, I'm always telling on someone. All right, look, here's a trick. Here's a trick to let you know if you could abuse the Cloak and Dagger or not. The trick is, if you play a character that can get close enough, what does the Cloak and Dagger do? They do one of two things, okay? The Cloak and Dagger that you can abuse, they'll usually like walk back a little bit, try to hit you with the with dagger, they switch to cloak, and then switch back because they need to throw the heal down and then switch back, right? They kind of look a little bit fumbly with what they're trying to do. They understand what they need to, but they're a little bit fumbly on it. Then you have the other Cloak and Dagger where it's like, you do not pass go, you do not collect 200. And these Cloak and Daggers will do one of the two things. They'll throw the bubble down, switch the cloak, bro, what's up? Or they instantly see you before you get close enough, switch the cloak, throw the blind on you, what's up? Those Cloak and Dagger players, you need to rethink your choices. I do not play when it bro, when I test those characters, when I test the player and they spook me, I'm like, all right, you chilling, I'll let you live for now. Literally, those players are not the ones that I will attack by myself ever. Like ever. I don't care who, I don't care what I'm playing. I don't care if I'm Captain America. I don't care if I'm Star-Lord. If I see that you about to square up in 1v1, that's not a fight I'm trying to take. Now you crazy. That point, you's not a healer anymore. You use DPS. You know, I don't mess up with that. I swear. Those are the most spookiest ones ever. Hippie Gaming Red says, my problem with people who play Cloak and Dagger as a cloak, they play them strictly DPS. They forget that is true. That is true. A good Cloak and Dagger knows how to switch between the two, but there are ones that strictly stick to healing, or at least try to, and the ones that strictly stick to damage, and that doesn't work. You need to know how to flip flop, right? So that is completely accurate. All right, let's move on to Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange is, I mean, what are you gonna say? Like, what are you really gonna say? This character has been stable. This character has been stable since what, beta? I haven't played beta, but I'm gonna assume he was in beta because he's very basic. Usually basic characters are the ones that have been there for a while. What are you gonna say? Literally, he's good. There's no downside to this character. I have yet to see a Strange lack in any area because there's no downside. What are you gonna say? Oh, you can melee the guy and the shield doesn't block melee. True, but he can fly. And then the better you get at Doctor Strange, the more powerful you become. So this guy is one of those characters that at base level is solid, And if you are freaking Super Saiyan Goku 84, bro, you're stomping games. Like, you are solo carrying them games. I've seen so many good Doctor Strange players that make me want to throw my console out the window. I'm trying to tell you. So there's no downside. Like, if you want a solid tank, if you want a character that will be as good as you are, right? Like, the better you get, the better this character becomes. Doctor Strange is without a doubt one of the balanced choices, the most balanced characters in the game. Without a doubt. I still ban him sometimes if I'm really frustrated, because nah. The thing is, he's balanced at base level. This character's overloaded at like high ranks, bro. he's busted at high ranks, but it's not about high ranks, right? It's about overall gameplay. Everybody. He's just very solid. And pretty much how good you are is how good that character is. Nothing really more to say about that character. So Chef Main says, I feel like a lot of value in Strange is being able to pocket him and still do well. That's true. But I do know sometimes there's some Strange players that just don't really understand how to tank, but I don't think that's a Strange problem. You know, that's just a player problem at that point. If you're afraid to do things as Strange, you need to reevaluate being a tank, I think. No flame to anybody, but like, if you're scared to do anything as a character that's literally one of the most tankiest characters in the game, 800 shield plus HP, like, that's a lot, bro. All right, moving on to the boy Grooty. So Groot got a buff to where he can put his walls up a little bit further, but actually playing, I was like skeptical about it, but playing against him, it didn't really change much. It's still the same character. It's still the same character regardless. Like, there's no like real change to this character. He's still Groot. One of my main problems with Groot, if he's on my team, is that they do not think about their walls. And so Groot players will block healers. I was blocked. I had a perfect shot on Hawk. Bro, it was ready. Headshot, dome. Soon as I let go, it's like this dude knew. Boom, popped the wall up. I was like, no, I almost just surrendered right then and there. That was the most troll. But that happens on a frequent basis. It doesn't matter what rank you're in. Groot players do not pay attention to where their walls are sometimes. Some of them will. Some of them will notice. Some of them will notice. But it's very rare. Most of them are very selfish, and they don't notice that they're blocking you, or they don't care that they're blocking you, and they assume you'll go around. Or your Groot teammate will block your tank from coming back and getting heals, in which case your tank just dies. So like, it's a double-edged sword type of character. And that right there can make or break your team fights. So it's not necessarily Groot being a problem as a character being picked. It's how he puts your team at an advantage and a disadvantage sometimes if you're not cautious of where you put your walls. So, like, if teammates were able to shoot through the walls, I feel like that'd be broken, to be Imagine the team can shoot through and see through walls. Enemy team can't. Oh, God. Let me not put no ideas in their head. They might roll around and do something. Oh, he can put a little window so everybody can see through. Nah, we don't need that. We don't need that. But I think he's a balanced choice. But because of the fact that he can negatively impact his team if he's not really paying attention, I'm going to put him down to takes effort. I think he goes in front of Captain America without a doubt. He's borderline unbalanced. But you can lose games, and I've seen it. I've seen it and I've done it. Well, I haven't lost games for my team, but I've lost fights for my team because I was now noticing, like, oh, my bad. But I've lost games because Groot players do not pay attention. And if a character can make you lose, that deserves a few points knocked down. The better you get with Groot, the better the character becomes, like Doctor Strange. But you still need to be aware, right? But what if you're sleepy that night? You're not as aware as you usually are. What if you're hungry? Maybe somebody's talking to you. There's just so many outside factors that can control how aware you are. And even if you're not playing Groot, you guys have experienced this without a doubt. Some days you play, you're hyper aware. You notice everything. Then some days you play, you're like, how did you even get behind me? Where were you? Like, how did you? If Groot ever feels like that, you're getting blocked. You're getting walls put up in spots they shouldn't be in. And that's why I think he's C. But he is a good character. It just takes more effort to really pull this guy off properly and not put your team at a disadvantage. So that's really what I think, in my opinion. 2 Groots and a Ned says 2 Groots in a match is pain, bro. What is it? Can Groot? So Groot, I think, can put up 3 walls and a brown wall. So that's 4, right? I think it's 3 and then a brown. So that's 4 walls. So there's 8 walls on the map at any given time when you have 2 Groots. It is painful. It is painful. Like, good Lord. Groot ults can be huge though. Yeah, it can. But I've also seen it get negated by people who are better. Like Cloak and Daggers that tend to ult, or Lokis that heal as soon as they know what's coming. And it doesn't break the crystal above his head. So like nobody can damage anybody in Loki. So like he's also just, he's telegraphed. It's very easy to counter the guy if you know what he's gonna do. So it just takes more effort to pump it and make him work. But I do think he's a solid character. I don't think his kit is bad. Just like I said with Captain America, I don't think the kit's bad. I don't think anything's wrong with the character at all. He just takes a little bit more effort. Maybe that's the intended design. Next, we have Hawkeye. So Hawkeye received a nerf. We already talked about this. And then I think, did he get a buff this patch? I forgot. I think he did. I think he did get a buff this patch. It was kind of weird. But after playing him for a while, it didn't really change much. He's still the same character. Even his nerf in season 1, I believe it was, he was still the same character. Like, nothing changed for me. Maybe I'm just different, but nothing really changed. He functions how he's supposed to function. He does the damage that he's supposed to do. If you can land shots, he's dangerous. If you can't, he's not. He just rewards you for being a good shot, and he punishes you for not. Like, I don't really think there's much to say about Hawkeye. Like, at all. I do think the little buff to a sonic shot was nice, though. But again, it's nothing crazy. Yeah, I'm going to put this guy in pop off or lose. But I'm going to put Panther behind him because undoubtedly Hawkeye is easier to play than Panther. Pop off or lose, bro. If you're Hawkeye and you can land shots, if you're Hawkeye going nuts, you're about to stomp games, win games, free points all around. If you are off, or if they know how to move, dodge, block, whatever, you just useless at this point. It doesn't really work anymore with that. But the character is solid. I think that's one of the more solid characters in the game. For sure. That's a really great kit that they had, and they just designed them really, really well to me. But again, if you don't do well with him, he's not going to do anything for your team, you know? And that's something you got to think about. It's like some characters, when they don't do well, they're not a team player, right? If he can't land shots, his other abilities doesn't compensate for the lack of aim, you know? Like, I'll even see Lord players in high ranks play Hawkeye, but they'll notice that they're not doing well, and then they'll swap. Like, if you're not doing well on this character, you can't function. But I think if you do well, he's borderline broken. Okay, let's move to Hela. We need to speed the list up. We've been talking forever, but there's a lot of characters. All right, let's move towards Hela. So Hela, okay, this one's hard. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, there's so many aspects of this character, both good and bad. It's like, dude, where do you even start? I'm gonna keep it basic. So the thing about Hela that makes her kind of rough, she falls in the same category as Hawkeye, But in my opinion, she's actually harder to play than Hawkeye. On top of that, when you ult, especially in high ranks, bro, like anyone past like Grandmaster, they'll tell you as soon as a Hela ults, bro, you're not landing anything. If the enemy team, Strange, understands how to play the game, or even Magneto understands how to play the game, you are not ulting. Ever. You need to, ever. It's borderline impossible. So you can't play the game unless you're just very sneaky with how you ult and when you ult. But if you can manage to pull it off, it's great. Again, I think it's just harder to land her shots than Hawkeye. She does have a nice escape, but it's not too crazy. Bro, that one's rough, bro. You see, like, if her ult wasn't negated so easily once you start hitting higher ranks, she would be a higher spot. But because you're basically not a character, when you ult, it's very hard to say that she should be in certain places. That one is rough, bro. She's not pop off or lose because she's valuable regardless if she can land shots or not, especially with her ult. And she's not broken anymore. Dude, that's rough. I'm like between B and C right now. I want to say balance, but there's inconsistencies. Balanced characters don't have inconsistencies, especially when you're talking about the enemy team, right? Balanced characters are balanced and they remain that way, and it's a flat line. Hela is inconsistent. If you run into a team that understands exactly what to do and when to do it, you're not playing the game. That's freaking hard, bro. It's really just based off, if we're talking about just like, if we're talking about lower ranks, I think she's balanced. If we're talking about high ranks, I think it just takes more effort to even play this character. There's a bug where she has no damage fall off right now. I wouldn't be shocked. I think we've had bugs with all the characters on these patches. They try to fix them though. But we don't want to rate based off issues that are not intended, you know? I'm gonna put her on takes effort, but I'm gonna put her in front of Captain America. I think Groot is easier to play than Hela, without a doubt. But I think she is more impactful than Captain America, without a doubt too. This one really just depends on how good you are at her. If we're just talking about basic levels, she ain't it. But I think she's good when you're good. But I can't keep flip-flopping between. Right now, just because your ult can be negated if you mistime it and you're not really a character, you're probably not going to function that well. You're going to have to be a god to make her go. But she'll increase based off how good you are. That's my solid opinion. Next, we have Hulk. Okay, so with Hulk, what rank y'all think I'm gonna give this character? I already have one in mind, but I'm curious. If you 3 seconds, just real quick, just put out a letter. 3 seconds. Where am I putting this character? 3, 2, 1. Where is this character gonna go? I feel like you guys already know where this character is going. Like without a doubt where this character is going. This character is going straight, and I mean straight. Straight. Wow, you guys are freaking all over the place. You guys are all over the place. Holy crap. Okay. Based off your placements, it's actually plain to see we have different experiences. This means that it ranges. But I don't know if you guys are rating off of the enemy Hulk or your Hulk. No, because my Hulks tend to be butt like all the time. Osek says Hulk goes smashed here. That's hilarious. Wow, you guys are all over the place. Holy crap. I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked that you guys are all over the place with your placements. I personally think that Hulk belongs to Point Generator. He is undoubtedly one of the best tanks in the game right now. I'm going to explain why. When you're playing Hulk in lower ranks, people do not peel you off. People do not protect their team. You can bombard their backline, punch a few times, maybe get a kill, jump away, rinse and repeat, and usually you're still kind of relatively at full HP. He has the ability to break Penny's nests, which is something that lower ranks tend to do. Lower ranks tend to play Penny way more than higher ranks, and this dude negates the fact that you're playing Penny. So you never have a nest if he does it right. He can go toe-to-toe with almost any character. No one really out-damages him. I'm not 1,000% sure about Thor, but I don't really ever see those two collide as much. The character... It's hard. It is a Hulk-based thing. Like, how good are you? But I think most of the time, this character will win. And then if you're in high rank, bro, this character just like freaking... This character's permabanned. I mean, he's permabanned for a reason. Like, in high rank, this character barely gets through. And it's an actual reason on why this character never gets through. He is a problem. Even with coordinated players, the character is a problem. Like, without a doubt, that character is a problem. So I think the rating here, that you guys might be all over the place. Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. But I think the rating here is you guys are basing the rating off of who's playing the character, who's piloting the character. But if the person really plays Hulk, he's really strong. And so that's kind of where my rating comes from. I'm not saying, hey, Poppin, give me a character I can just whip out, match one and win. That's not the Hulk. It's not happening. But if you give this guy about 10 games, you're going to probably win way more often than not. Just for the simple fact that he's a problem to deal with. You know? He's not manageable. He's very hard to manage. So that's what I think. I think characters that are chaotic tend to just roll over to low ranks, and characters that are chaotic in high ranks, they get shut down. But in his case, it's just very hard to do because the Hulk players that are there are usually very aware of like what they can and can't do. And it's a problem. It's a problem. Even with 3 healers, which makes it kind of even better for the Hulk because he has less damage to worry about. Usually in high rank, it was one tank, 3 DPS, 2 healers. Now it's usually 1 tank, 2 DPS, or 3 healers, or 2 tanks, a Bucky, and then 3 healers. That's usually kind of how that works most of the time. And that's just less damage Hulk has to worry about right now. So I think when they pump more damage into some DPS that can take this guy out, it'll be a problem. But most DPS don't out damage this guy if he's there in his face. That just does not happen. If you're flying, you can stomp this guy though. But like right now, I think, man, if you could play about 20 games on this character, you'll dominate. You'll easily dominate. Like easily. Easily. If he is as Strange, will be too. The thing about Strange is he's manageable, right? Strange can't do things willy-nilly. He does have a process to how he likes to do things. It's more methodical. Hulk players generally aren't methodical. I mean, they are thinking, don't get me wrong, they're not just clueless. But it's similar to Thor. If you're in the back line and you know your limits, you will destroy games. It's just very hard to deal with the Hulk player that's understandably good. All right, how about this? Because your experiences, like my experience is more for the Hulk players without a doubt, but your experience seems to be based off specifics of pilots. I'm gonna put the guy down to pop off or lose. All right. Can we at least agree that if a Hulk pops off, you're probably not winning the game? If he plays like crap, he loses. Can we at least agree on that one? I'm down for a mid road here. I'm down for a mid road here. I don't think he's B without a doubt. But I do understand what you guys are saying when it comes to S being a little bit too high. I'm doing it based off my experience. And most of my Hulks are like Grandmaster Plus, to be fair. So, yeah, I know. That's kind of where it's coming from. And I'm a little biased on that. But I do know that if a Hulk does not know how to Hulk, or he's pretty bad, he's not going to do anything for his team, and he's going to lose the game for him. I also have seen that. So I will go in the middle of the ground, okay, and I'll say he's A. I think that's a good meeting ground for us. I'm in metal rings. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's hilarious. Hulk's unpredictable? Yeah, in terms of like, well, not really unpredictable, but just unmanageable. You know, when he's there, what do you do? If Hulk's in your face, what do you do? There's like no off switch. Either you die or he runs away from you. You know, there's not really a way to deal with him if he's in your face. And so that's kind of where that was going. He's stable and good? Well, I've just seen some awful Hulk players, man, that jump in and get turned into Bruce real quick. So that's why I think pop off or lose, because more often than not, you'll see a good Hulk or a bad Hulk. I think in my experience, whether low rank or high rank, you don't see an in-between. You have a very good one or a very bad one. Like, it's usually one of the two. I rarely see one in the middle that's like, you're fine. You know, I don't really see that too much on him. They usually go too ham or they don't go ham enough. That's pretty much how I see it. But I see your point, though. All right, let's move on to Flameon. So, this character is a new character. I actually really like this character. But I'm starting to get a little Star-Lord sick. And I still have fun with Star-Lord, so... But I do genuinely like this character. Jesus. Okay. So I already see what y'all like. D, C, poppin', throw them away. Horrible. Okay. The problem with this character, and I think a lot of people don't understand how to use this character, no matter high ranks or low ranks, I still see the same. People do not understand how to play this character. He's not meant to be played like Storm, and he's not meant to be played like Iron Man. In my experience, the character is low-key meant to be played like Star-Lord. He's meant to be like really in your face almost at all times. Obviously run away when you can. But a lot of people play him like Iron Man or Storm, where they're really far back or really high in the sky. That's not how you play this character. He's like a melee flyer. Like, without a doubt, this character is a melee fighter. He needs to be in your face. He has like the Punisher shotgun blast. He has to be in your face. Now, what makes this character feel worse is because people will walk out of what he puts on the ground. So he's kind of like a Penny character or a Groot character, where if people know how to not be around whatever you're putting down, you're not really as effective. So if you don't have any forethought and you're just throwing down things, they're going to walk right out of it. And so I just think right now people don't have enough time with this character. It's similar to Mr. Fantastic or Wolverine when they got released. Nobody really understood what they were supposed to do. And it took a while for like people to catch on. And then once they did, these characters were overloaded. He's like this. I only know how he's supposed to be played because I spent so many hours on this character. It's freaking ridiculous. But I'm also very good at analyzing things in general. Like, I overthink a lot. And so I'm just like, well, why am I not doing as much damage here? Well, what if I do that? Okay, well, what if I do that? And I just go through like a series of freaking checklists in my mind. I'm weird, I know. and I came to the conclusion that he needs to be played up close, even if he's a flyer. You're supposed to go up, down, and then get close, slam down, get a little, like he's like an assassin flyer. That's probably a better way to put it. He's an assassin flyer. That does not sound good at all. That sounds awful. I'm gonna put him on C, where he takes effort. And I'm gonna put him behind all three of these characters because he's not intuitive. If you get good at this character, he's actually strong, but you have to take some time to do it, and he's not intuitive. It doesn't really tell you, like when you lock him in, your thought process is like, okay, I'm a flying character, I should be able to do things while flying. That's not how he works, and so he's not intuitive. If you play Black Widow, it's pretty intuitive that you need to not be close, you're using a sniper. You know what I mean? So in that regard, he's just not very intuitive, and you're gonna have to play a lot of games for him to get good at. And even when you get good, it's kind of lackluster still. You're gonna have to be godlike. So I think he deserves C. I don't think he's bad. I just think we're not there yet, and so I'm not gonna rank him higher because majority of the player base does not understand what to do with him or how to play him properly yet because he's so new. So that's where I stand with him. Okay, guys? Like I can't really put him too high because it's incorrect. We gotta really get people there. All right, next character. Here we go. Invisible Woman. So with Invisible Woman, I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about her. Because I don't really want to spend too much time on the tier list in general. The way that we're going, it's gonna take a while. I'm enjoying myself, but y'all got places to go and people to see. So when it comes to Invisible Woman, she is rough because the way that she functions, her ability to be utility is mad impactful. Without a doubt, one of the most, if not the best utility-based character in the entire game right now. Without a doubt. But with all that utility, they took her damage. This is why she's not pumping out damage like Cloak and Dagger, pumping out damage like Jeff. She has too much in her kit to really be like, hey, you can kill people. You can finish them off, but you're not 1v1ing anybody that can aim. So usually what you're going to see is them hop away and run, reposition, and then get back to doing their thing. But just because you have a lot of utility doesn't mean you're automatically good, right? If I give you a calculator and a math problem that you don't know how to solve, just because you got a calculator don't mean you can solve it, right? Just because you have the tools as Invisible Woman doesn't mean you know how to use it. And so it is a hindrance if you don't know what you're doing, although she has power. So this is kind of rough. This one's rough. This one's super rough. Because even at a basic level, she's kind of bad. But you do need to put time into this character. But she's a good character utility-wise. Like, she is a great character. And she's designed really well. But you're not going to just be able to rely on your ultimate with her at all. Not happening. You're going to start taking loses. This one's rough too. God, I didn't think I'd have these like rough ones. I think that she's balanced. We're just gonna put her at balance. I was gonna say take effort, but the thing is, even if you do not understand fully how this character works, you still will provide something for your team. The better you get at the character, the more you provide. But we're not talking about Lord Invisible Woman. We're talking about if you're like, hey, Poppin', and I'm like, what's up? What healer should I use? This one. That's what we're basing it off of. And with that, if I give a person this character to play for about 10 games, you still aren't going to be close to as impactful as someone who's a Lord on Invisible Woman. And this is why I don't think she deserves to be higher, because she's not inherently pop off material. You know, she's not inherently point generator, but just once you get used to her, once you have like hours and hours under your belt, this character's like broken. Just not damage wise. I personally wouldn't put her at S because she doesn't do damage. I just keep her at A, like if I really were like, oh, Lord players. But she's really good. I really love the character. They did a great job. Great job without a doubt. I think one of the best made characters in the game so far. All right, next we have Bruce Lee. I mean, Iron Fist. So, Iron Fist. Learning curve? There's definitely a learning curve with Invisible Woman. Definitely. Okay. Iron Fist. I love Bruce Lee, by the way. I really wish he did have a Bruce Lee outfit. I like the way that he moves. It's so clean. Iron Fist, Iron Fist, Iron Fist, Iron Fist. So you guys know I have a love-hate relationship with Iron Fist. That's a lie. I just have a hate relationship with this character. Whenever I see this character, I just think so many dirty thoughts about the player that's playing that character. And I know I shouldn't be, but like, bro, every time I see one, you're like a special person to have to like play that character. Like, you undoubtedly are the school bully if you play Iron Fist. No, for real. Like, tell me that you was not bullying kids for lunch money if you are a Lord Iron Fist player. Tell me right now. Bet. So, the thing about Iron Fist, and I see a lot of A's, the thing about Iron Fist is that you don't necessarily need to pop off to be useful with this character. This character can trade 1-for-1 and still be impactful. If this character flies in, kills Cloak and Dagger, dies immediately after, job done. Would you rather have a lack of a DPS or a lack of a healer? Which one, like, if I had to choose to eliminate one off my team for the span of 10 seconds or more because they have to walk back, I would rather have a DPS go than a healer go. And let's just say there's one player on the enemy team carrying the game. If this guy could take him out, well, you win. Heaven forbid you play against a good Iron Fist. So, in my opinion, it's controversial, but in my opinion, this character is a point generator, like without a doubt. Even in high ranks, bro. Even in high ranks, this character will get you some wins. It's so frequent that when people play him, even in high ranks, if people are losing, their last resort is Iron Fist. And I've seen people win games because they swapped to Iron Fist. That's how strong this character is. And I might be thinking, well, I don't get it though. He like, people always say he's useless. I don't get it. Characters that are diverse tend to only be handled by people who are coordinated, right? If there's no coordination between your teams, this character will roll over the entire team. I consider him like, if anybody's played League of Legends, I consider him like Master Yi, right? Like Master Yi in League of Legends is one of those characters where it's like, he sucks, but he doesn't at the same time. It's crazy. If he can manage to kill somebody, he will reset and he'll run over everybody. It's like, you have to stop this guy or this guy runs your entire team over. Iron Fist is the same way. You have to stop this guy or he dumpsters everybody. And with a character like that, that's a problem. And so, yes, inherently he may seem like it's a problem, but, or like might seem like he's not that great. His character is actually overloaded. I think the thing is, if you, I don't really know how to say this, like, because I've played all the characters and all the roles, this guy dumpsters. But like, if you're a tank main, you don't have a problem with this character. If you're a DPS main or a flyer, maybe you don't have a problem with this character. Support mains have a problem with this character. And if you're a stationary DPS that can't really run away, you have a problem with this character. And if all he needs to do is tag one, get his overshield, and then run through your whole entire backline zigzagging, there you go. So That's why I think he deserves to be there. A lot of players that play Iron Fist that I've seen climb, because like I said, I've climbed multiple accounts. I can tell when the player isn't supposed to be there, but only got there because Iron Fist got them there. You know what I mean? And so that's still where I think he is. I think until his kit entirely gets changed, it's just not going to change. He's going to continue to be that character, that point generator. And anybody who's ever like played Iron Fist, like just like whipped him out once, you notice how impactful you are. So imagine if you play more hours on that character. It's pretty nasty. He's just like Cloak and Dagger. He's kind of a knowledge check, you know? What rank is going to be the rank where they're like, huh, we know how to deal with you now, buddy. Like, that's when that guy stops, you know? Iron Fist can fly, flyers aren't safe? Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Next we have Iron Man. Okay, so Iron Man, they buffed him recently, and I'm glad he needed it. But I feel like it's still not enough. I feel like Iron Man is not a character unless he has the Hulk on his team. That's like the only issue with Iron Man. And the thing about Iron Man, especially in low ranks, is that people can't aim. So he's similar to like Iron Fist, but can fly. It's like, how far can I climb by people not understanding how to deal with me? Once it stops, this character is useless. Iron Fist isn't, obviously. But once it stops with Iron Man, the character is useless. I promise you, if you talk to anybody, maybe Grandmaster Plus, and you're like, how many Iron Man players do you see? They're gonna probably be like very rare. Unless they pick the Hulk. People don't play this character. It's very easy to deal with. He doesn't pump out a lot of damage, and people can aim. You get shot down instantly. And it's harder for your healers to heal you because you're flying. So not only do you get popped instantly, you do need to get back to your healers some way unless they're paying attention to you. And I don't know. I will say him with Invisible Woman is pretty nasty. Like any flyer with Invisible Woman is GOAT. Basically, Iron Man comes down to this, in my opinion. He comes down to like an ult bot. Your job as Iron Man is to land a great ult. If you can't ult with Iron Man properly, the character is the most useless character in the game, hands down. You need to be able to hit ults at the right time, properly. Otherwise, the character's useless. His range, fall off damage is pretty bad unless you hit people, but most of the time you're not going to hit people, especially if they're playing fast characters. You can use your laser, I guess, right? But you're still getting close enough to be popped. So you do have to be mindful about that. The only Iron Men that actually that are successful are the ones who just get ignored. That's really what it comes down to. Like, tell me you guys have played a game where the Iron Man wasn't ignored and was popping off. Never. You only pop off as Iron Man and people ignore you. That's really what it comes down to. So just like that's rough. But I'll do it. Just like Black Panther, he pops off or loses. Should the enemy team know how to counter you, you're done. KO. Should the team not know how to counter you, not really pay attention to you, and you just get away with whatever you want to get away with, you pop off. Period. So I would make him lower, but because we're talking about the overall arc of ranked, we're not just talking about high ranks, because in high ranks this guy would be drastically lower. But we're talking about everybody. We're talking about bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, etc., etc. I have to factor in the lower ranks. This character gets away with a lot there, and until lower ranks know how to deal with this character, he's going to have to still be higher on the list, because that is still a big portion of the player base, you know? So that's where I think he deserves to be. A Metal Iron Fist is hot garbage. But Luna can freeze them? Yeah, but now you're counting on players to know how to deal with them, right? And so that's what we don't want to do. We're just talking about the character by itself. If people don't know how to deal with Iron Man, he gets away with a lot and he's very impactful and he's super strong. Should they know how to deal with them? He's not really useful, you know? That's what I had a problem with the Hulk. You know, we were talking about the Hulk and like you guys had to like push me down a little bit. It was because I'm used to Hulks that go insane. I don't know if this is A or C. Nah, that dude stays there forever. Forever. All right, let's talk about Jeff. All right, so there's two types of Jeff players. You have the regular Jeff players, and then you have the insane Jeff players. And if you've ever went against an insane Jeff player, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These dudes are like Chucky incarnate. Like these people watch Bride of Chucky, Child's Play. They know exactly. They got their gameplay from that movie. Like off cuff. Off cuff, tell me I'm lying. Toy Soldiers, all these movies where you got these little things running around being menaces. That's Jeff players. Well, that's that version. It's rough, dude. It's rough because okay. We might have to separate this one because it's like, what are the odds that you run into one of the flank Jeffs? What are the odds that you run into a Jeff that actually knows how to play with enemy backline? I run into normal Jeff players more than I run into that. And so to rank it solely off of that is kind of unfair because I don't see them that often. So where are we going with this one? S Kato says he's S in my heart. Bro, ain't nothing funnier saying a Jeff ult and just lose the game because he took his whole entire team off the payload. Now that is gaming. This is hard, bro. All right. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Because we're factoring in all ranks, I think he is a pop off or lose character. The reason I say this is because I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, when I play against Jeff players, I will win most of the time. Like my win rate against that character is, with all my accounts, is undoubtedly really high. The only time I have a struggle or we end up losing is because we do play against one of those flanker Jeffs that actually will destroy backline. Very hard to kill, very hard to deal with. So in my opinion, either the Jeff is a god, he knows exactly how to play Jeff, whether he's a flanker or not, he knows he's a god or she, or you lose. So I think he deserves to be an A because the character is actually really strong. But like you are going to take L's if the Jeff has no clue what to do. Like without a doubt. Without a doubt. But he's not a balanced choice in my opinion. He doesn't really take more effort because he still is simple to use. And even if you do not play him to that takes effort standpoint, he's still useful. You can still be a great Jeff player without having to flank. I've seen them. But you need to know how to play Jeff properly. All right, moving on to Loki. Oh, God. So I love Loki. Loki's been one of my main healers for a while, especially in high ranks. I really love this character. This one's rough. So Loki really only hit the spotlight because we started to see the triple heal comms. That's kind of when Loki started to hit spotlight. Loki really wasn't that great beforehand, before people figured that out. And he would just take everybody's ults, not just the healers, but just everybody's. Now that we have the triple heal comp, he can be used as a damage dealer while also having the ability to use support abilities and or damage abilities. This is what makes him a threat. I don't think he's hard to play. He's easy to play, but I guess he's like hard to master, right? Like button press wise, it's not hard to do that. You can play a Loki and just be sneaky. It's not really that difficult. But to be really impactful as a Loki player, you are gonna have to like put some hours into this character. It's rough. I have a lot of hours into Loki. I'm gonna go. You know, I'm just gonna shoot it, and go pop off, or you don't. I've single-handedly lost games because Lokis can't heal, like actually just garbage. But I've also single-handedly won games and or had a Loki on my team that like is crazy impactful. So I think pop off or lose, A is fine. You know, I think that you are 50-50 chancing if your Loki is going to be good or not. And if they don't play well, you basically only have one healer. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. If they don't play well, you have one healer on your team. I promise you. It's so awful to have Lokis on your team that cannot heal and cannot do damage. It's such an awful experience. Like, it's such an awful experience. Because you either get the Loki that only like wants to heal, which is impossible. That's not how you play Loki. Or you'll get the Loki that only wants to DPS. But like, bro, we only have one healer if we don't heal. So like, what are you doing with your life? Like, it's definitely a painful experience to have a Loki that doesn't know how to Loki like properly. He's like Cloak and Dagger, but like hard version. So that's where I think he deserves to be. Nothing too crazy, nothing too nuts about talking about this character. He's definitely more of one of those characters that just does well or just doesn't. All right, let's move on to the next character, Luna Snow. Again, Luna Snow, we talked about Luna Snow a bit last time. Honestly, Luna Snow's low-key off-tank. Bro, if you ever try to dive a Luna Snow and then she just pops her enhanced... dude, she pops her enhanced thing. My God, if she ain't the most tankiest character in the game, she's like Mr. Fantastic tanky. Like, it's so hard to kill. It's like I'm not even worried about you anymore. I'm about to just go away until that thing goes away. The downside to her is you do have to aim. Her ultimate is so broken. My God, that ultimate is ridiculously long. Ridiculously long. Like, it's insane how long that ultimate is. I see some of you guys saying B. I see some of you guys saying A. The thing is, I don't really think she's balanced. That sounds bad. I don't think she's balanced, bro. Like, realistically, I don't think that kit is a balanced kit. That is a little overloaded. I mean, to be fair, like, if anybody's playing Marvel Rivals, we have to come to a community agreement. No character in this game is actually balanced. Everyone is busted or overloaded in their own way. Some are just a little bit more, you know, a little bit more. But like, realistically, almost every character in this game is overloaded in some sort of fashion. There is not one balanced character in this game that I can think of that just is alright. I think, is it 12? I thought it was 15. Did they nerf it? I don't recall. Wasn't it 15? 15 seconds. I think it's 15 seconds flat, unless they nerfed it and I didn't pay attention. For her ult. Maybe they nerfed it. Maybe I'm crazy. I swear it was 15. That's such a long time. 15 seconds? It better not be 15. I think she deserves to be pop off or loose. But I think she's better because she's easier than all these characters. There you go. I think that's a little bit better. Like that. That's a little bit. Because like, you'll get a Luna that's really good, or you'll just get a Luna that sucks. Like, there's not really an in between. I've never seen an okay Luna. It's similar to the Hulk. I've never just seen an okay one. Like, you, bro, you're cracked or you're not. You're gonna die 30 times or you're not. Like, what's up? You're gonna do really good job healing or you're not. There's no in between. I've never seen a decent Luna. You're either a really good Luna player or you are just an awful Luna player. And usually the awful Luna players don't want to bite the bullet and swap, which is unfortunate. There's a story, brief story. I played a high rank match. I want to say a Celestial, but I could be wrong. And there was this person that was asked to play Luna. I think their Cloak and Dagger got taken or something like that. And they were asked to play another heal support. They swapped to Luna, had no clue how to play this character. And you would assume, well, you're Celestial, you're high enough to know, what to do. Even if you don't know how to play, you know how to play. You know what I mean? They did horrible, like actually horrible. So that really goes to show that that's not a character that you just pop yourself on and do work with. You do put time into her. Doesn't have to require tons of time, but it's not someone where I could just first game Luna Snow and win. Like that's probably not going to happen. But when they pop off, they can solo carry a match. If they don't, they'll probably just straight up lose. Like seriously, I think that's how it works. I wouldn't put her at just free point generator because I have yet to see one that just auto wins just because they're playing it. So I put her there. Let's move on to Magik. My permaban. Like I will permaban. I'm not even gonna lie. If I ask for Magik to be banned, and then she gets through and she wipes my team, I'll baby rage. I'm not gonna lie. Look. I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm being vulnerable right now. I'm gonna share with you. Okay? Don't hate me. I'm gonna share with you. No bias, okay? Don't be like unsubscribe because I share with you a story. In Grandmaster, one night, I was frustrated. Tons of Magik players. I'm like, bro, I'm done. I quit. So, what I did, every lobby, for about 5 lobbies, I said, ban Magik or I'm going to play Black Widow. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. The thing is, I can play Black Widow. Okay, so I'm not someone who's just saying it to grief, but they don't know that. And I use that to my advantage. So the first game, they were mad, really mad at me, but we banned Magik. We lost to other circumstances, it happens, whatever. Second game, we banned her. Enemy team was like, why'd you ban Magik? Magik one trick got banned out. We won that game stumped. Next game, my team didn't ban Magik. I played Black Widow. They didn't really say anything. We won that game. I stomped. I like Black Widow. That was just one of my great days. The next game, they were really mad. Like that was like a squad. They were mad. But they banned her. You're like, why ban Magik, bro? I didn't say nothing. I'm not toxic. I won't say anything. I'm gonna type. I'm chilling. As long as she's out. Last game, we won again. And I was like, all right. Every lobby, people are mad at me. Even though I'm winning, I feel like that's super toxic and I shouldn't do that anymore. But bro, Magik is the type of character that make me not want to play the Marvel Rivals anymore. Like, I'm not even gonna mess with y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. That has got to be the most anti-fun character for me to go against ever. In the history of characters I've played against in any game. That is an anti-fun character. However, especially in high rank, I understand she takes a little bit of skill, whatever, but she's still overloaded. And like, that's the thing. Just because someone takes a little bit more effort to play, it doesn't mean they're not overloaded. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't really, I never really understood that. Dude, Spider-Man's not broken. He requires hours. All right, bro. That justifies the end, huh? The means justifies the end, huh? It's not broken because he takes a little bit to learn. I don't think that's how judging character strength work. I don't think they balance based off difficulty. But no, I think you guys really do hit it right. I think she deserves to be an S. Even if a Magik sucks, she's very hard to deal with because she's very hard to kill. You know? And that's the main reason why I dislike her. You can be butt. Like, I'm talking about cheeks. and you still be impactful with this character. I don't even understand that logic. Like, for real, for real. Like, at least the other characters, if you're impactful, but you're not crazy impactful. But oftentimes, even if you die 10 times as Magik, you probably will still get MVP. Why? Because you're really hard to kill. You'll fly in and either we have to focus you and pay attention, or you kill everybody, or we focus you, pay attention, we might get you, but then your whole team kills everybody. There's no winning here. We die to you, okay? And she kills you in like 2 seconds. Heaven forbid your support is out or just not paying attention. All you have to hear, I got you, instantly dead. I can't stand that character. Maybe if she didn't talk when she did it, I wouldn't be so upset. But that is one character that I just cannot stand going against. Story time's over. All right. I really like that skin though, so I might have to be biased. I really like that Magik skin though. So I low-key may have to go to the dark side for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get a few free wins. All right, talking about Magneto here. So with Magneto, this one's hard. This one's between A or B. And let me tell you why. This one probably isn't going to listen to you guys more than me. But let me tell you why. I've seen Magneto players just be like the most scared players ever. I don't know why. But if I've ever seen a tank be scared, that is like one of the main tanks that I've seen be scared. Even in high rank, bro, they just sit there and like don't want to go forward. Bro, you have a shield, you have a barrier, move, but they don't. And so I feel like pop off or lose. However, even if a Magneto doesn't pop off, I've never lost because the Magneto did not pop off. You know what I mean? So like, it's annoying to deal with one that doesn't really pop off, but they don't cost you the game. And so this is why I think it doesn't deserve to be an A, because they're not that powerful and or weak to cost you a match. They're just really freaking annoying to deal with. So that's just kind of where I'm at. Bro, a good Magneto though, they'll ruin your day. All right, so we see, okay, I see a lot of B's. All right, we'll go B. I agree with you. We'll go B. I think she's harder. I think Invisible Woman is harder than Magneto though, so we'll put Magneto forward. But again, I've never actually lost because Magneto sucks. More often than not, I think I'll win. Even if you don't play tank, if you play Magneto, I feel like you probably have a higher chance of winning than Strange. Is that accurate? I think so. Strange, you need to kind of finesse to play properly. Magneto, you don't. I feel like if you just point in the direction, it usually does the job. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. All right, next we have Mantis. So with Mantis, the problem with Mantis right now, I don't really know if it's intentional or not. They haven't really touched on it within any of these patches, so I'm curious if it is intentional. The problem with her is her heals aren't that great. Like, you will die through her heals. And that's my issue with the character right now. However, she does pump out a ton of damage if she can land shots. So again, I don't know if that's intentional. They're like, hey, we don't really want your heals to be super strong because you do a lot of damage and you can amplify yourself. So we don't really want it to be too strong. But here you go, you do have heals. Like, I don't know if that's kind of where they're navigating, but I think that's my major issue with Mantis right now, is the fact that her heals can be killed through. More often than not, it will happen. It just doesn't heal enough. She's kind of on the same lines of like Adam Warlock, but the thing is, Adam Warlock, in terms of heal, not in terms of placement, Adam Warlock in terms of heal, kind of like once you're out, you're out. With Mantis, it's like when you need them, it's not good enough sometimes, and they will still explode. Like, she's good with people that understand how to not sit out in the open and take 1,000 damage, but she's not with people that do. Like, if you've ever had a tank that like sits in the middle of a map, no cover, and just jumps around like they're just not supposed to take damage, being the size of a house. If you heal for them, they're gonna say healer sucks, healer's garbage, and it's kind of like makes you think. How many games have you been babied? Who did you play with that just like babied you to make you feel like you should just stand in the middle of nowhere with no cover and you're gonna be all right? Like who did that? Cause like they need to just tell you to uninstall, cause that's not how we play the game. So like that is the problem. And the issue is most tanks play like that. Most tanks do not use cover. A big majority of them. They will sometimes, but I don't often see tank players consistently use it. They will be out in the open sometimes. Even in high ranks, it does not go away, especially if they're filled. They don't really understand how to move from cover to cover, when to use cover, when not to use cover, etc., etc. Not Al. It's not, well, I'll just say AL. I don't want to call you Al because I don't know if it's Al, but it's not just low ranks. It's high ranks too. I will testify. Like, whenever I see something, I'm not someone who's like, dude, high ranks are better, low ranks suck. I don't think that at all. I think low ranks just don't understand yet. I will call out high ranks when they do stupid stuff. There's a lot of high rank tanks that will not use cover. I will admit that now. It's very rare. Most of them do use it from more often than not, but there are some that just sit there and I'm just like, what are you doing, dog? You're hot. You're better than this. What am I watching? But yeah, that one's kind of scary. Like, I don't really know where to put it. Is it fair to rank a character based off your teammates' performance, or should I just continue to rank the character based off the character's performance? Because if we're basing it off team's performance, I would put her at C. But if we're basing it off of character performance, I'd put her at B. So we're going to stick to character performance because I feel like there's another character that we talked the same way about, and we're just talking about the character. So we're going to put her at B. We're going to put her at B. She's way easier to use than all these characters. I think she's a great balance choice. I do think that maybe her heals can be a little bit better, but if they were, she'd kind of be broken. So she really only does well if the team just isn't so ready to die, basically. If your team doesn't expect you to just pocket them all the time, I think that she's a great character. But if your team is like, bro, where's my heals? I'm getting shot and killed in 2 seconds because I don't use cover, then she's an awful character. But I don't think we should base her placement off of that. So, using Mag? Yeah, what? Dude, that character is like noob friendly. You already know it's an easy character because in their training mode, they have her. I don't know if they have Mag, but they do have her. Yeah, you just look at somebody and press the button. That's way easier than Magneto. The thing is, too, you're playing a tank versus a healer, and tank is just harder than playing a healer. That might be a bias thing, or not bias, I'm sorry, controversial thing. But from someone who's played all the roles and climbed all the roles, in my opinion, it's far easier to play a healer than it is to play a tank. Like, for you to win games on tank, you need to be a good tank. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're not just going to be a butt tank and win games. You could be kind of like a mediocre healer and still straight up win because you're just enabling. But as a tank, unless you have someone else that's tanking with you, if you don't really know what you're doing, you're probably going to lose. So, doesn't matter which tank you play. All right, Mr. Fantastic Bombastic. This guy just got a buff to his knockback. You gotta aim with Mantis. Yeah, that's true, but her kit isn't about aiming. You know, her kit is revolving around enabling her team, and that is what makes the kit is what makes them hard or easy, not necessarily their aiming. You know, like realistically, Black Widow is not hard to play, but she is. So That's kind of where I'm going with that. I mean, that's just my opinion of it, though. I'm not saying I'm right or anything like that. Y'all know I'm not that type of person. I don't want to say just because I'm a high rank, just because I make YouTube content, I'm always right. No, I'm always open to what everybody else says, 100% of the time, even in my comments. I definitely did not mind knowing your guys' input, but it's just my opinion on how I feel about it. All right, hot seat. Alexi, yo, what's up? Good to see you. Did I say hot seat? Mr. Fantastic. With Mr. Fantastic, he got a buff to knockback, which is really good because it helps defend against people. When you knock back a character that's flying, they fall. I don't know if that's all of them, but I'm pretty sure it is. When you stun a character in any fashion, they will start falling to the ground. I think the only difference is exile. No, exile, you'll still fall to the ground. Yeah, whenever you see a target, they drop. So with Mr. Fantastic, you literally have a very easy way of dealing with flyers by just grabbing them and dropping them. And they also, I believe, buffed his range to how far he can grab. So not only is he a really good character to peel, but he's also a very good character to deal with flyers, to do damage, a very tanky character, very good at off-tanking. This guy has kind of a lot in this kit. The only thing to Mr. Fantastic, in my opinion, is can you give a CDL on Human Torch? They said, oh wait. I thought you were saying Human Torch 100% broken because with good aim. And then I realized you said she. And then I was like, oh. Oh my God. That got me. That got me. I'll give you a TLDR in a second. Okay. Anyway, Mr. Fantastic. He's great at everything. Very tanky. Great off tank. Doesn't even need to have 2 tanks. If you can play Mr. Fantastic, you don't need 2 tanks. Without a doubt, I think he's a point generator. He's one of those characters that will probably just get you more wins than loses, strictly because he's very hard to deal with, and he's not necessarily that hard to play. The thing that makes Mr. Fantastic quote unquote hard is management. That's not a mechanical thing. It's just, how are you managing everything, you know? And after a couple of games, you can get used to the management aspect of this character. And then once you get used to it, you're going to be on a roll. This character, I think, is one of the strongest characters in high ranks when people really know how to play him. Like, he's disgusting. I don't think that they will nerf him anytime soon, though. Because he's one of those characters where their kit isn't really out there. It's more or less how the players play with the character. So I think he's on an S. Oh, I mean, I guess you're not wrong. He is pop off or lose too. I guess you guys are right. But my thinking is, how often are you not going to pop off on Mr. Fantastic though? Like, realistically speaking, when I look at pop off or lose, all those characters, I've seen 50-50s. I've never seen a 50-50 Mr. Fantastic. Or if I have, it's rare. Usually, even if they might not be the best Mr. Fantastic, having one on my team makes me feel good. So, and I can't say that about any of the pop off or lose characters. Like, I can't say, oh, we have a Loki, cool. Oh, we have a Black Panther, cool. No, but if I see a Mr. Fantastic on my team, bro, I'm hype. I'm ready. So that's what I think, personally. Now, to answer your question about the Human Torch, the TLDR about that is the character I think is strong, but it's kind of too hard to judge. Me personally, I spend a lot of hours on the character. I love him. I think he's great. But as an overall, people just aren't good enough at him yet to really put him anywhere. So I just think he takes more effort to learn. Once you learn him, you'll get down with him. But I think kit-wise, he is a good character. You just have to know how to properly play that one. You're buns if you're not getting value on Stretchy Boy. Exactly. Like, even if you're not a god, you still are impactful. And that's the thing that makes him a point generator. Because you don't necessarily need to run over the team yourself. As long as you make it, as long as it's a problem for you, like as long as you're a problem with their entire team, you will win games. Easily. If I have a Magik in any rank, that is a problem. Whether or not she is stomping or she gets no kills, that is a problem child. That is what I'm basing the point generator off of. You don't really need to do anything to be impactful. You just are by picking the character. And that's why they're there. And so that's why I think he deserves to be there, because he gets value. All right, next is Moon Knight. Moon Knight. Bro, whenever I see Moon Knight, it always makes me think back to that story that I told you guys when I was doing the patch notes, where I think it was Grandmaster. I think it was a Mantis player. Mantis, by the way. The player was like, don't pick Moon Knight. He's a 44% win rate. What? What does it have to do with me? Mind you, they didn't even play well. First of all, in my head, I was thinking, bro, you're Mantis. We have Cloak and Dagger up, we have Invisible Woman up, and you play Mantis. Don't even. But the fact that they said that, I just thought was hilarious. I thought that was just funny. All right. Moon Knight. The downside to Moon Knight is aerial. It's very hard to land anything on Moon Knight unless you are a Moon Knight main without using your Unk. That being said, easily a point generator. I know you guys are like, dude, see. Nah, this character is, nah, you're winning games. I even know this on personal experience. I was so tired of dealing with him. This was on my way to Grandmaster from Diamond. I was tired of like seeing the character, got on my nerves. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this too. The first game that I took him, because I haven't played him in a hot minute. I took him in that first game. I was like, oh, it's been a while, but I'll figure it out. Stomped the other Moon Knight and got MVP instantly. I was like, hold on. I knew he was a problem, but Jesus. So I played him a few more matches, and I would still end up winning. The only time that Moon Knight is like bad, quote unquote, is if there's someone that can dive you. But melee divers are going to get clapped easily. You just throw it at your feet, and should they try to hit you, you kill them. The only problem with him is like Star-Lord. Like anything that can destroy the Unk at the same time as fighting you is hard. But there's not a lot of characters that do that. So as long as you position well, as long as you don't even have to be close. Even if there's fall off damage, it's not about that. It's about you pumping out damage to multiple targets at once. Just sit somewhere super far away. Not super far away, but enough. Throw the Unk whenever a fight breaks out. Tap, 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 tap. You just chunked everybody before the team fight starts. Your team wipes. If you catch a support that's unaware, you will one-shot them with a combo. It's a very easy and effective character, and obviously the lower you are, the more effective characters are, right? He's very painful to deal with. So my personal experience, which is why I'm not going to move from it because I literally did it, is the fact that he's easy. He's easy to play. He's very impactful. Boop. Throw the stuff, chunk the team, rinse and repeat, you're winning. Heaven forbid there's overtime and you have ult, the moon will kill everybody on that thing and it's a wrap. That's literally how I feel. I don't want to talk too much about him, but that's how I feel. Well, he doesn't really have to pop off in my opinion. He just has to be a presence. I will say though, Moon Knights that can land that ult consistently, they're dangerous. All right, next we have Namor. Using tanks as unks, bro, for real. I've done that. I was like, oh, I don't even need it. Next we have Namor. Namor, without a doubt. This was rough. This one's a struggle. It's between S and A, without a doubt. I want to say that even if you don't pop off, this dude is still good. But I think that's only the case when he has Luna. If Namor doesn't have Luna and he sucks, he's probably not going to do anything. But if the Namor has Luna and he sucks, he's still God mode. So I think with that, I'm going to put him at pop off or lose. I don't want to base it off of his team up, just his solo character potential. And if he sucks and he doesn't have Luna, the player, like, you're not winning. You might as well just not even play him. But I do think he's easier to pull off A lot of these characters. What? Yeah, Namor is like the anti-fun character, bro. If you play a melee character and the person actually really plays Namor, bro, it's just like you can't play the game. It's the most hilarious thing ever. He's such a you can't play the game character. I love it. All right, next we have Penny here. With Penny, ooh, Penny. Dang, this one's hard. So what I said last time in the last tier list was that she is like free wins basically. But as the game and time progressed, she started to notice that people destroy nests more often. It's not a lot, but it's more than what used to be. If you play her in high rank, that nest is permagon. You need to be a good Penny or you're not gonna have a nest. In lower ranks, that nest is usually there for a very long time. I play Penny in high rank, and it's work. But you don't necessarily need to pop off. She's also not balanced. A balanced choice either. All right. Based off personal experience, I think the length of time you can play Penny and get free wins more often than not is going to be until Grandmaster. I think about mid Grandmaster, people are like, bro, that nest is not playing anymore. That's such a small portion of the player base that I'm gonna just like ignore that, and I'm gonna put her at S. I'm gonna put her at S. She's still a point generator. Like you will win more than you lose if you play Pity and just keep spamming her. That's a guarantee promise. That's hard because attacking against Penny is kind of rough. That's hard. Oh, this is hard. Dude, if there was something in between these two, she would go there. That's hard, bro. That's so hard. That's so hard, bro. You'll settle for B. That's what Franklin said. They'll settle for B. JTAC said that gold and platinum console still S. I don't think it matters what you play on. Penny's still Penny, whether it's console or PC. Because it's not like it's a technical character. You don't need to have fast inputs. It's just a thinking character. S, Puka said S is far too generous. Hmm. Ah, so hard, guys. Ah. The thing is, I'm kind of biased too, because I play this character. So I know. But I've also played against pennies who suck, but because people don't destroy their nest, they kind of get away with being butt. You know? Like, oh my god, it's so hard. All right, we're doing the entire we're doing the entire rank spectrum. So we're gonna put her at pop off or lose, bro. Like if you have a truly buns penny and you destroy that nest, that penny player has no clue how to play the game anymore. She's like, she's not even a character. Like she's just there. But what makes it difficult is the fact that it's a enemy team skill check. Are they strong enough? Are they smart enough? Are they good enough to destroy that nest? If they are, the penny kind of can't play the game as much. So it's very hard for me because I put like, but you guys have seen my Penny gameplay before. Well, those of you that have, whether I played it in like an actual review that I did of myself, or I was doing whatever. You guys have seen a lot of my nest locations or how I use it isn't really common, and I haven't been doing common nest placements for a long time. So it's just kind of hard to really say, because I kind of forget, like, what are the obvious nest placements? How hard is it really to destroy her nest if they aren't, like, hiding the nest properly? It's very hard. So I'm going to trust you guys. I'm going to trust you guys. You guys know how to, you guys know. I'm satisfied with A. I'm satisfied with A. Let's move on. I trust y'all. Next character that we have is Psylocke. Oof. All right, you guys are gonna have to help me with this one too. So there's two types of Psylocke players. Cut and dry. Let's make this quick. Two Psylocke players. First Psylocke player, normal Psylocke player. Second Psylocke player is the one that just sits there, farms ults, running in, speaks Japanese, kills everybody, runs away. I think that playstyle, the latter playstyle, is actually an S. Like, you will win games if you do it right. You don't even have to actually do anything other than just ult at the right time and you will wipe. The problem with that style is it's very, very hit or miss. You could die before it comes off. You can maybe whiff. Whereas the normal Psylocke players, they're more of along the lines of pop off or lose. Like, you either are a crappy Psylocke or you're a good Psylocke. But you guys, like, you gotta understand, you know how many wins you can get by just not doing anything and waiting to ult as Psylocke? Like, you can get a lot of wins. But is that fair? I hate these type of placements. I hate these placements. I'm gonna say yeah, this one's freaking difficult, dude. The thing with S, right, is that she can be invisible. Any character that can go invisible is low-key busted. But I've also seen a lot of Psylocke players that don't do anything. They just like flank and then they just like a little fly that does like 10 damage and we ignore them. And then they lose. So like, what are you gonna do with that? Is there a third option? I only see those two. I only see a normal Psylocke player or one that just like hides it and just waits to come out to ult. Those are the only two that I really ever see. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put her at S. I'm gonna put her at S. The thing too is she has panic buttons. That's the other reason why I think I'm gonna put her at S. Only because she has a panic button. If she had to commit and then die, basically, that would make her an A. But you don't really have to commit with Psylocke. You can go in, oh, I screw up, you leave, and you're perfectly fine. And you can keep doing this as many times as you want to. I think that's the thing. And then, of course, if you just run in and ult, you're winning that fight. Like, if you ult, you're winning the team fight more often than not. You'll kill the backline. If you will 100% kill the backline. There's no way that a healer's gonna live through it unless they ult or they heal each other at the exact same time, and that just does not happen. So yeah, I think she's a point generator for sure. She's a solo carry when played right. Yeah, that's what I think too. That's what I think too. I'm a Celestial when I'm support, she's hard to deal with 90% of the time. Yep. I agree. No matter what rank I'm in, she's so annoying. But she isn't always in your face, and I think that makes her a little bit more manageable. But we'll keep her there. All right, next person we have Rocket. Can we even rate this character, bro? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. How many Rocket players? Count on your hands. How many Rocket players that you've played with are actually Rocket players versus players who just like the AFK and get carried, bro? 95% of Rocket players that I've played with are AFK, heal from a corner Rocket players. The other 5% are actual genuine Rocket players. Like, is it even fair to rate this one? Just put it off in its own world. At least 5. At least 5. Oh man. He's just a B. You can't go wrong with the right click holder. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. And even if you are a good Rocket, you don't necessarily shine crazy brighter. Like, just because, like, for me, I'm very critical. I don't like ever type to anybody or anything. It's just how my brain works. I'm very critical of everything. And so I notice little things that I should not care about. I went to college to be a homicide detective. And so a lot of what I learned and how I think is just kind of about the little details and stuff like that. And whenever I play and I see a Rocket, I can tell right away if you're a Rocket player or if you're like one of those AFK Rockets. But I think if you're just normally playing the game, you're doing your thing, you might not be able to tell the difference between an AFK Rocket or a Rocket that actually plays Rocket. They don't shine that bright compared to the normal AFK Rocket players, you know? So I don't think there's actually much of a gap between it. So I think but I do think the power to get carried is such an invaluable power. Like, it doesn't happen much in lower ranks, but like in higher ranks, bro, if people pick Rocket, they're probably gonna get carried to a win. Doesn't even matter. I haven't actually played Rocket in low ranks. Personally, I've never like realistically felt the need to. I prefer to play other stuff. But you guys have to testify with me on that one. In high ranks, he can be played by nobody and like by somebody who has no clue what to do, and he'll win because he's just an enabler. If you guys agree with that statement, if any of you guys are lower ranks, I'm kind of asking you to out yourself here. If you're like diamond or below, not even diamond, if you're like platinum or below, when you see a Rocket that's clearly an AFK Rocket that doesn't really impact much, do you still find them useful enough to win the match? If you guys can say yes to that, I'm gonna put him at S. If you guys cannot say S to that, I'm gonna put him at B. Or if you guys can't say yes to that, I'm gonna put him at B. So this one's kind of on y'all. This one's kind of on y'all. Okay? You don't need to pop off, so I can't put him at A. Like, it does not matter how good you are with Rocket. Like, if you do well or not, like, he's still the same Rocket usually. So I see some of you guys saying yes. I see some no. I see some thanks-sos. I'll switch to Rocket if we keep staggering because one person keeps dying immediately in the team fight. His team up is great, most skills, but we're not talking about team ups just because you can't really always have a team up if you're playing solo. You don't think so? You guys think in lower ranks, even if you pick Rocket, he's not going to help you win? The thing is, when Loki pops off, though, Loki actually will stomp a game. Like, pop off or loser, like people who like, if they do well, they'll stomp. Rocket cannot do well and stomp. Rocket can't stomp. That's not a stomp character. That revive is a mistake saver. Only caveat to Rocket is that he requires a good DPS. This one's hard, guys. I thought you guys would be more on the same page. Y'all are not on the same page. What's wrong with y'all? Rocket is a legit character. He has win rate at the highest ranks because people carry Rocket though. Like that's where I'm getting at, Osek. It's not because Rocket is good. It's because you're not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? If I have a Luna Snow on my team that constantly dies, but you have a Rocket that just sits in a corner and never dies, you're arguably giving me more value. It's not because your character is strong. It's because you don't die. You're just kind of AFK. You know what I mean? But if we come down to the fact of like, we have a Luna Snow that's putting out massive value, pumping damage, doing great heals, CCing with Snowball, and your Rocket is AFK in a corner, I will win. So it's not a Rocket. That's not why he has high win rates. It's because he's carryable. It is way easier to carry a Rocket that never dies than it is to carry any other character, I think, in this game with them dying. That's kind of it. I mean, Rocket's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think the character actually still is a character. But I'm just saying, like, that is not why he's winning. Like, if Rocket could not run away as fast as he can, I don't think he'd be winning as many games. So that one's kind of rough. His ult damage is pretty good. Oh yeah, that ult is freaking disgusting. I love it. S++, Chris said. Res is good, but the player not dying in the first place is better. Phoenix, that's accurate. That's accurate. All right, we got to come to the conclusion here. Here we go. Lower, you'd rather have a Cloak and Dagger. Great point. Great point. I forgot who said that. I just read it and I lost it. Corn Holio? Holio. Corn Holio? I think that's what it is. If I mispronounce your name, I mispronounce everybody's names. It's not personal. You're accurate. Thank you for bringing that into my brain meats. Bro, if I have a Rocket that is refusing to swap and they have multiple healers that do AoE heals, we lose. That right there was it. Slow clap. Well, that's a fast clap. Slow clap for Cornholio. That right there is the seal. It goes to B. Balanced choice. That right there is the seal. You are accurate. I think someone also said you need to have good DPS. If your DPS is garbage, you're losing with Rocket. And if they have multiple AoE heals and you don't have any on your team, you're losing with Rocket. That right there is enough. We put him at B. There you go. Brain meat. There you go. Yo, that's why I said I needed help, because I literally get stuck sometimes. I'm like, but we all have different experiences. So when I see what you guys say, it's like, oh, okay. I get you. That's why I like that. All right, next one we have Scarlet Witch. Bro, recently she's become a menace. I don't even know what it is. I don't know why. No matter what rank I'm in, she has become a menace. She is a sneak menace. Like, actually just a menace. Diving, can't do nothing about it. She 1v1s a lot of duelists now. Like, she's a problem. Her ult is great counter to triple heals. Ult is a great counter. And then just buffed it, actually. Bro, this character is a point generator. I don't even need to talk about you. Get up there. Just go. You deserve it. Jesus. I don't think I've seen a bad Wanda ever since that patch that dropped. Ever. No matter what rank it is, they are impactful. The patch before, I would see kind of like good ones and bad ones, but I have yet to see one that just doesn't do anything, ever. I think because of the freedom to ult whenever you want allows them to ult more frequently, meaning that they can get more kills off of it and not have to worry about it. Easily as. Bro, character's nasty. I was considering A, but because she doesn't really need to pop off to be impactful, I think she's a great character. She owns flying champs? True. Cornholio thinks B. You talked me out of A. I don't think she's balanced. I think she's actually stronger than like the balanced casts. Her ult is really effective now. Even like a bad one that gets value, it's insane. Yeah. And if you have a Magneto, like your ult is gonna work. Like, it's never not gonna work. If you have a Magneto on your team, your ult's gonna work. But we don't want to use team ups. We don't want to use team ups. You got a Strange, she is useless. Block her ult. Yeah, but now you're relying on the enemy to understand exactly what to do and when to do it. But the ult isn't really the only thing that makes her strong. Her regular primary is really impactful. Like, really impactful. I think she's a point generator. For now. I've played a lot, and I haven't seen many Wandas that actually underperform. Either you're baseline or you're cracked. If you underperform, it's probably because you're just not playing well as a player. Nothing to do with her. So I'll leave her there. I'll leave her there. Even in high rank, she does really well now. So I'll leave her there. Next, we have Spider-Man. I mean, bro. You have two types of people. You have two types of responses when you talk about Spider-Man. The first response is a normal response. Dude's freaking broken. Get him out the game. What is this character? The second response is the delusional response. Buff Spider-Man. I'm toxic. I'm toxic. Don't unsubscribe. Don't unmember. I'm toxic. I'm toxic, bro. Don't tell no Spider-Man mains I said that. Please. 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 So you guys are saying A, pop off or lose. The thing that I do not agree with when it comes to that is that you don't need to be good at Spider-Man to win matches. You just need to be a distraction. Black Panther, now you need to be good at him. But Spider-Man is still the same. If you go in, even if you don't die, you go in, chunk, and get away. You did a great job right then and there. He's like Magik with no kill pressure unless he understands how to combo successfully. I think when people have Spider-Man on their team and they say he sucks, which is true, so, you know, some players do suck at the character, without a doubt. It's mainly because they didn't go in when Spider-Man went in, or Spider-Man went in too early, just didn't time it right. But he's similar to like dive tanks. He's in like an effectively a pseudo dive tank. He goes in, doesn't die, goes out. They don't really understand that you need to time it properly, but if they do time it properly, that character is a menace. And so I think with that, he deserves to be an S. In my opinion. He's harder to play than all of them. I lied, bro. Put him at first. Dude, okay, the main thing that makes him super busted is his ultimate. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Like, you don't even have to be remotely good. But if you get ult, just pop yourself in. Don't mess with the Amazing Spider-Man. You probably killed 2 people. Kill the other one. Run away. Repeat. I'm not about to stoop down my thought process for this character. He's stupid. But he doesn't annoy me more than Magik. I think if you play Magik, bro, you're about to get gains. Maybe do something like this. Something like that. I'm only saying this because I actually have a separate account that I said I was going to climb only melee characters. I know how to play them, but I wanted to really force myself to only play them. So I get to experience the horrible situations that they must play in. And, you know, sometimes you get hard countered and it's incredibly hard to play these characters. The only melee character, without a doubt, that is permanently effective is Spider-Man. Whether you fly, whether you're fast, whether you're slow, whether you're tanky, I will default Spider-Man when I think things get too hard. That right there is saying something. So I personally think, actually, I hate Magik more, but I give Magik players a little bit more credit because you're not about to just do nothing. Like you have to think. But the thing is, Spider-Man has so many panic buttons. He has ways to run away. He just has so many panic buttons. It's kind of unfair. And he can move faster if he times his his web with the punch. Like, the character's nasty. Like, actually so nasty. All right, next we have Star-Lord. Bro got Spidey, Fist, and Magik and S. What you trying to accomplish here? That's funny. All right. Star-Lord, I played a ton of Star-Lord. Star-Lord's one of my main DPS characters. If anybody's ever played with me, usually you'll see me default to Star-Lord once I stop playing anything else, if I do. Even in high ranks, I'll play Star-Lord. It's Star-Lord and Widow. I'll play most of those. I'll play whatever is necessary, but if I am feeling comfortable with myself, I will play Star-Lord or Widow. Widow a little bit less because people get tilted out their friggin' minds. But what I'll usually do is play Star-Lord, do well, and then swap to Widow, and people usually don't say anything. Or I'll just say something like, oh, I'll swap if Widow's bad. But I really like those two characters. Star-Lord is one of those characters that are only good when you're good. Like, without a doubt, this dude is borderline awful if you don't know what you're doing. Like, without a doubt. Like, the only saving grace of this character is his ultimate. But, like, as you get to higher ranks, people just know what to do when you ult. Like, more often than not, you're not killing anybody. Like, if you are a true Star-Lord player and you want to come out, right? If you want to be like, look, poppin', I had that. You're going to have one ult per match that's not going to kill anybody. Guarantee. 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 You're going to have one ult that does not kill anybody, or you die in it. Every game. There's not one game that I've successfully... Okay, I lied. Rarely. But, like, usually you will screw up. You'll screw up because they do something to prevent your ult, or they just straight up kill you out this guy. The rest of his kit is kind of... It's great. I like it, but it's not gonna... You're not gonna win not knowing what you're doing. Especially because his clip is so small. Like, the clip is extremely small. So, I'm gonna say... This guy is under pop off or lose. And honestly, even if you do pop off, that doesn't necessarily mean you win, but a good Star-Lord decimates. I don't think he's balanced because I think that's inaccurate. I think if you play Star-Lord average, you're not going to win. Like, you need to pop off or not. I would say he takes effort, but even if you have off games with Star-Lord, you'll still not do well. Like, you need to pop off or you take the L. 100%. 100%. All right, next we have Storm. I don't really need to speak much on this character. She's been strong for a while. Even before she got buffed, I thought she was really strong, but nobody really played her. I'm gonna just put her... I'm gonna put her at S. Dude, she's kind of like a free point generator. Like, she's hard to hit in the sky. Once she gets ult, she just dominates the back line for free. She gets ult really quickly. She buffs her team. Like, what do you not want in a Storm? Whenever I see a Storm, I just feel like it's an auto win. Like, I'm not even gonna front. Whenever I see Storm, bro, I feel like it's an auto win. That's my personal experience. No, you have to be trolling if you lose on Storm. Like, she is super easy. What? Wait, some of you guys think B? Huh? Am I crazy? I would probably settle for A, but B? B? I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a little too low. I feel like you don't even need to pop off, dude. You just need to get your ult and then you win. If you just keep AFK and getting your ult kind of like Psylocke, you just win. And she gets it so fast, you just win. But I will say, being a higher ranked player, I'll be the... What is it? The devil's advocate. I've been the healer that will wait for her to ult, and then when she ults, she gets nothing out of it, and then she's back to just normal Storm. So, that's like half her kit gone, or half her impact gone. But like, But like, come on, is that fair? That's a biased assessment, though. That's a biased assessment. To say like, oh, if a player understands on the ult and they ult when you ult, you don't do damage. That's not really what we're doing here. You know? So like we can't do that. We can't do that. If we were to say that the Storm ults when she needs to ult by just waiting for them to ult, you'll wipe the fight every time. Yeah. Well, we're keeping her S. We're keeping her at S. Low S? I feel like she's only higher because she's easier. Because she can fly. Flying characters kind of get away with a lot. She ults so fast. She really does. Rick Sanchez, pop in! What's up, Rick? She could shoot through everyone? My experience, she gets banned a lot, so you can't use her much. Yeah, higher ranks do ban her, but when she ever gets through, she kind of wins, I think, almost every time. So her win rate is super high. For my personal playing, I mean. Like, whenever she's on my team and the enemy team, the win rate is high. Like, I don't think people lose with that character, unless it's a mirror match, and then the better Storm wins. Next, we have Squirrel Girl. This one's rough. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. I have played this character, especially when I don't feel like playing the game in general. I just like default Squirrel Girl. I've played her in high ranks, played her in low ranks, seen high rank players, seen low rank players. The thing about Squirrel Girl is you have to know how to not die to Squirrel Girl. And if the Squirrel Girl is good enough to land the snare, if you run up on her, you will die. I have yet to see a character that's not a tank get snared and live to tell a tale. They are dead if they can land a headshot. Put those two factors together. And then, of course, the ult charge is really high. You don't really necessarily need to aim to be impactful. Her ult is really good now, especially in small spaces. Cowboy said, even if you suck, you still pop off, bro. Sheard said, Squirrel Girl equals pop off or lose. She can counter groups effectively and shoot past tanks to take out healers, but she can be dove easily. But she has 2 escapes, though. Like, I personally find it hard to get to that character. Maybe I just suck. But whenever I play her or go against her, you don't really get pinned down that often. And if you're a good enough Squirrel Girl, you know not to be close. You can literally be in a place where you can't see anybody and still be effective with Squirrel Girl. She's like a rocket for damage. The only downside to Squirrel Girl is the open, like if it's out in the open. That's the only downside to Squirrel Girl. But these maps are so claustrophobic. Not in a bad way. I actually really genuinely like the design of all these maps. But like, most of them are closed. Like, they're very narrow in some sort of fashion. I think the only real open area is Asgard Domination on the throne. That's a big square. But like, other than that, I think every map is pretty narrow and has these type of corners that people have to hold angles on. And yeah, I personally think she's on S. I think she's even easier. Like, she's even better than Cloak and Dagger. Because Cloak and Dagger still has a responsibility of healing her team. But Squirrel Girl is all damage. There's not really anything you need to do. And her snare bounces around. Like, everything she does doesn't require any aim. Matter of fact, I'm just going to put her first. Like, realistically speaking, you should win Squirrel Girl games more often than not. The only time you lose is because you played horribly or it was just a really bad game. Or you came across someone that knew how to deal with you. But like most of the time, you should probably be pumping out a lot of impact when Squirrel Girl. So I'll put her first. The only reason why I put her before Spider-Man is because Spider-Man actually does require repetition to play. He's not just like, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. He's still majorly impactful. But there's downtime. Squirrel Girl has no downtime. There's downtime to all these characters but Squirrel Girl. Spider-Man has downtime. Magik has downtime. Cloak and Dagger has downtime. Storm has downtime. Wanda has downtime. Iron Fist downtime. Fantastic downtime. Moon Knight downtime. Psylocke downtime. There's no downtime for Squirrel Girl. She will do Squirrel Girl stuff for a very long time, if uninterrupted. And even if you do interrupt her, she's just gonna jump in the air and continue to do exactly what she was doing before. And either you sit here and play freaking cat and mouse with Squirrel Girl, or you go run away and she back to doing what she does. So I think she deserves to be there. I think she deserves to be there. You still can't get over Spider-Man being a point generator? Look, I've seen some. The thing is, people might talk crap about bronze, but dude, the thing about being in bronze is that you just don't understand what you're doing at all. But that doesn't mean you don't know how to click buttons. There's a difference between game knowledge and mechanical skill. I've seen some great bronze mechanical players, but they just clearly don't understand how to play the game, which is why they're bronze. When you put two and two together and you understand it, it's usually fairly easy to get out of bronze. Usually. Unless maybe something you're missing. The lifelong Squirrel Girl fan, I love how many people know about her now. Yeah, I thought she was good before. People were like, Poppin', she sucks. I'm like, bro, the character's good. What are you talking about? And then they buff her ult and it's like, all right, bro. All right, bro. All right, bro. Dude, Spider-Man remains an S. I don't care who you are. That character is dumb. That character is dumb. Yo, that's the same response that I got on the other two tier lists. People are like, dude, Spider-Man should not be there. Spider-Man should not be there. What are you talking about? Bro, Spider-Man's dumb. I hate that character. Not as much as Magik. But Spider-Man can get away with a lot more than Magik can. I think maybe you're thinking about it on the spectrum of Spider-Man like getting MVP. I'm not like rating it off of I'm not rating it off of how often you can get MVP or how many kills you can get a match. The rating is more off of impact as a solo player. Even if I don't get kills as Spider-Man, my impact is high. Without a doubt, my impact is high. I have never seen a single player that says there's a Spider-Man on the enemy team. I can ignore them. It's fine. You have to pay attention to Spider-Man. No matter how bad that character is, or that player is at Spider-Man, you can't ignore him. That is what I'm rating off of. The characters on S are characters that you cannot ignore, and if you do, they win. It's impossible. It's impossible. What keeps Penny from being S? The nest thing. If you destroy her nest, most Penny players don't really understand how to play her. And that's what it is. Nothing, dude. Penny is S plus. I wanted to put her at S, but if you destroy that nest, bro, Penny's butt. If they don't know what they're doing. All right, next we have Punisher. I hate this character. Bro, I hate this character. Without a doubt, I hate this character. Because the character will camp like a baby camper. Like worse camping than Squirrel Girl. Just camp in his little turret. And he just does so much damage. And if they know how to aim, bro. I hate that character with a passion. But without a doubt, character is probably I don't want to spend too much time talking about him because he's kind of basic, but I'm gonna put him at like pop off or lose. Character's not balanced. If you can aim, you're stomping games. Like if you know what to do, you're stomping games. But he's not free. Like you can't just be butt and win with the Punisher. It's not happening. So either you pop off or you lose. I've yet to see a Punisher that's just mediocre and we win. No, 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 no. You either pump the damage out, you pump great ults, or you get killed during ult all the time and you don't have good aim. It's kind of where that character lies. But I think he's just closer towards the front of A because he's so much easier than all the other characters. All my COD years came in handy using Penny, or using Penny? Oh, using Pun. I read that wrong. Yeah, dude, if you're cracked on like any other game, Punisher is just insane. Just insane. Just actually insane. Yeah, I would put the Punisher at balanced, but I've just seen way too many Punishers pop off because they know how to aim. But I've also lost many games when the Punisher sucks. I haven't won a game because the Punisher sucks. Like, what do you provide, bro? Like, if you can't aim, you can't position, you can't use turret, bro. Like, what do you do? You smoke screen, bro? I can't even see through that. Like, what do you do? You don't do anything. You suck. So he doesn't belong. Next is the Thing. All right, so the Thing just came out. But he's more straightforward than Human Torch, in my opinion. All right. He's more straightforward than Human Torch, which means that it's easier to rate this character because he's obviously designed in a way that he's supposed to be fundamentally easy to understand. Bro, this character is hidden. The only downside of this character is that if there's flyers, you're probably gonna lose. I'm gonna put him at pop off or lose. Bro, either your Thing is doing it or your Thing is not. There's no in between. You will win because you're doing well, or you will lose. You can't be an average Joe the Thing and expect to win games. He's not really balanced because default Thing is butt. He doesn't really take much effort because he's super easy. And he definitely is worth the effort. The character is good. So, in my opinion, he's A. He's a really strong character. You just need to pop off. Bro, if you don't pop off, he just sucks. There's no in between with him. I think the Thing does well into ranged enemies, but I just think most tank players don't know how to use cover. Like, in order to get to someone who's ranged, and usually many shooters, if you're melee, is you have to kind of go from cover to cover to cover to cover to cover. And the way that Marvel Rivals sets up their maps is they do set it up really well to go from cover to cover to cover to cover. Like, but most tanks don't do that. They just like jet forward. And so usually what you'll see the Thing do is either he'll go in and not realize nobody's behind him to jump out, or what he'll do is what he'll do is he will I kind of think my brain's like on stupid. He'll go in and not realize anybody's behind him and he'll die, or he'll just go in and just die anyway without being able to actually jump out. And that's usually what ends up killing the players. But but here's the thing. I'll be right back real quick. I gotta use the bathroom. All right, I did more than use the bathroom, but neither here nor there. By the way, if you guys have, like, if you guys don't want to go back or anything like that, don't worry. I'm going to make a shorter version of this tier list. I just thought that it'd be kind of cool to stream it so we can get a conversation going and we can really talk and you guys can hear my thoughts, I can hear your thoughts, and we can kind of place them together. Even though some of them I do stand firm on. And then I'll make a short version, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, just kind of talking about the character for brief, so you guys can see it later. I feel like that's better. But of course, let me know, what do you guys think? Do you think it's better that we do it on stream and then I make a short version? Or do you feel like I do it last time with the tier list that's like 50 minutes long, 40 minutes long? And we do it that way. I feel like this is a little bit better. We can just chat, hang out, and I can hear you guys' point of view versus just like sounding like it's a definitive tier list when it's not, but it might seem like it because I made a video on it. But anyway, let's continue. So that's what I think the thing is. Also, I think what makes the thing better is the fact that he has a ranged punch. I think that right there is crucial. If he didn't have a ranged punch, and it's infinite, like he doesn't have a cooldown. So if he didn't have those, I probably would be a little bit skeptical on like where to place him. But the fact that he has a ranged punch just gives him so much more power, and the fact that he can continuously use it gives him so much more power, especially because, again, a lot of these maps are very close quarters. He has a lot of ability to punch through people. So that's where I think he deserves to be for right now. I don't think he'll ever be S, only because the way that his kit is designed, it's never just going to be super good all the time. It's like you're going to suck if you suck, and then you're going to do well if you do well. All right, next we have Thor. Can't stand this character, bro. Like, actually, hate this character. Sheesh. Okay, so there's half of my brain is pop off or lose. Other half of my brain, even if you don't pop off, you still pop off. Bro, even if you're 0 and 72, bro, I'm guaranteeing you them 72 deaths, bro. That took work for the enemy team. So I think in that mindset, that character is always impactful. No matter how many times you die, you are scared of him, and he's always in your face. And you don't necessarily need to be good at Thor, because there's not a lot of in and out with Thor. Not saying there aren't good Thor players. I've obviously seen them. I reviewed games. Like, there's some cracked Thor players. Obviously, there's cracked everybody. So whenever I put anybody on this list, I'm not downplaying anybody's skill with the character. However, I've seen some pretty awful Thors that are still a problem. Like, even if you have no clue what you're doing, the goal of Thor is to go in and stay in. Even if my nephew, I forgot how old he is. I think he's like 10. No clue how to play this game, what to do. Give him the controller. Say, ayo, how do you play this character? You just go in and then click all the buttons. Guarantee he's going to get a few kills. Like, fundamentally, whether or not they choose the right time to go in, the character itself is massively strong. And that's what we're focusing on. We're not focusing on how the player's piloting the character. We're not focusing on what enemies do to the character, just the character's package. Thor's package is relatively strong, and I don't think I have seen many bad Thors in the sense of like, you're not impactful. I've never felt or seen anyone say, swap off a Thor. Never. In the history of playing this game on multiple accounts, multiple hours, I have yet to see one person tell a Thor to swap off Thor, even if they're doing horrible. But I've seen that for every other character. So I think this dude needs to be S. Like, without a doubt, this guy needs to be S. He only, I think, loses 1v1s to Hulk, but I'm not a Thor main or a Hulk main. So I don't have hours on hours on hours testing that. So if anyone's a Thor main or a Hulk main, I don't really know who wins a straight up 1v1, but I'm going to assume because Thor gets overshield every single cast, he wins. And his lightning damage is unbelievably strong. And then he just got that buff recently too, so I think he deserves to be an S. He's much more of a problem. I don't know. I was gonna say much more of a problem than Squirrel Girl, but Squirrel Girl is a range, so that's kind of unfair. That's a little bit unfair. It's biased. It's not about the. Cornholio said it's not about garbage players though. It's the kit, or take Spider-Man down to D. Yeah, it's not about the players. It's just kind of about how strong the character is as a whole. But even if you are bad at Spider-Man, you still are impactful. Even if you're bad at Thor, you're still impactful. Their kit is super strong. But if we think about like Captain America, if you're bad at Captain America, you are awful. The kit isn't strong enough to make a bad player better. Anybody in S, the kit is strong enough to make the bad player better. That's why they're an S. So if you select any of these characters and you say, I'm going to play 10 games, you're probably going to win more than half of those games because the kit is there to make you better. I will say Magik takes a little finesse though, because she's weird. Like, you got to get used to her. So maybe like a game or two extra to get used to Magik. But the rest of them aren't really, like, you don't even need to have, you can have Spider-Man on easy swing. Like, you don't need to do all this complicated stuff with these characters. You can just play them basic and they're still super impactful. I use easy swing with Spider-Man for the longest because I really enjoyed playing like the real Spider-Man game. But eventually, as I started to get better, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna make content on Spider-Man, tired of people trolling me, so I'm gonna just do it. It's not that much different. It is more accurate, of course. I always tell people that when I use easy swing, it's just because I enjoy it, but it is more accurate to not use easy swing. I still use it on Venom though, I don't care. But you don't need to be that great at these characters. You just need to use them. All right, next character that we have is Venom. I love Venom. I love Venom, dude. Like, I want to main Venom, but like every time I try to main Venom, for the love of me, I say no. Like, I'm almost Lord Venom, but like I start playing Venom for about 1 or 2 matches and I'm like, okay, I'm done. It's like, but I really want to main you, Venom. I really want to like play you from match to match. It's like, by game 3, I'm over him and I'm back to playing other characters. But I do like Venom a lot. I love the movie too, by the way. It was a great movie. Great movies. With Venom, I think it's fairly obvious. He's A. I'm not even gonna talk too much on this character because it's just plainly obvious. Like, either you do well with Venom or you don't and you lose. I have yet to see a Venom in between. Like, anybody in A, I've never seen an in between, you're good enough and we'll win. You either do well or you don't. Every single time it's you do well or you don't. There's no in between. And if it is, it's rare. When I see Venom, either you do well or you don't. Yes, he's a problem. He is a problem. He's annoying to deal with. I don't like front on that one. He's super annoying. But the Hulk is too. You know what I mean? Venom can pop off? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at some One Above All, Eternity, Celestial. I'm not sure of Grandmaster. I don't think I've ran into any problem childs in Grandmaster, but those 3 ranks, you find the Venom main, one trick, bro. They're killing multiple people if you give them a chance. Venom is disgustingly strong, but he just requires more work than everybody else. And that's kind of the issue here. But Venom is super strong. That man's nasty. You just don't typically see it a lot in lower ranks. That's all. People in lower ranks, when they play dive tanks, they're not usually that good. The only person that they can play is Thor. And it's really only because Thor just wants you to button mash. Like, realistically speaking, you don't need to know combos. You just button mash and you'll probably get through. But the other dive tanks that we have, if you see them played in like bronze or silver, you're going to notice a lot more fumbles because they don't really have a backup plan. You dive as Captain America, what's your backup plan? Running away, I guess. You dive as Hulk, what's your backup plan? Jumping away, I guess. But you're not impactful. But like with Thor, you don't need a backup plan and you're always impactful. You just go in, you stall long enough. What it is. The eye test. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I never seen the heart before. Do you heart it? I can heart it, bro. Nobody told me any of this. And I can like it. Thank you for the super chat. I haven't streamed on YouTube for quite some time. So I don't really know the fundamentals of how this thing works. But thank you. Thank you, the eye test. I do appreciate it. And just another shout out to the members. Again, I appreciate you guys too. Like everything is because you guys support the channel. It always chokes me up. But thank you, the eye test. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Slothmoth said, is the thing a dive tank? I feel like he's a brawler, but is that different? My definition of a dive tank is something that can get to you in a span of a few seconds. That's a dive. You know, just like if you dive in water, right? Even if it's slow to reach the bottom, you're diving. That's a weird analogy. I can usually do better than that, but that's just how I think about it, really. The eye test with 5 more bucks. What is wrong with you, eye test? Why you got 2 super chats? They need to make it so that Iron Fist kick resets on KO. Oh my God. Wait, hold up. Do I need to refund this back? Do I need to give this back? I don't know about that one. Bro, imagine the terror that Iron Fist will be able to wreak if this guy's kick resets off KO. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord Jesus. I couldn't even imagine. Oh, dude. That would be mind-blowing. Actually, holy crap. Holy crap. Don't give him no ideas, please. I can already see. Well, in ult, Iron Fist can reset. Imagine a reset kick ult Iron Fist. Oh my God. I can already imagine. That is a permaban character. Eye test. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Or are you joking? Like, I'm genuinely curious because that sounds super strong. Cameron Williams, thank you for super chat as well. Thanks for being awesome. I appreciate it. You know, it's little comments that makes me smile. I appreciate that. All right, let's move on. Reset off kick. My man said, I'm trying to have a Winter Soldier Iron Fist. No, I respect it though. All right, next we have Winter Soldier. So, I feel like this was not even that much to talk about. Let's be honest. I can ask y'all one simple question. Okay? I know you guys are thinking. You guys are thinking about good Winter Soldiers. It might overshadow the poor ones. But if a Winter Soldier sucks, how much value does he actually bring to your team? How many games did you win when a Winter Soldier can't land shots, can't land hooks, ults into a team that has a support that AoE heals so it's negated, or just whiffs ult, or doesn't get the kill, or it gets blocked by, you know, like, come on. Come on, guys. We got to think about those Winter Soldier players. I personally think he's going to pop off or lose. His kit is great, but if you don't use it right, you're going to lose. I have not seen a bad Winter Soldier win a game. You have got to actually land shots. That's every character, though? I've had bad Squirrel Girls and still won. I had bad Thors and still won. Bad Spider-Man and still won. I don't think when I say when you do bad, like you are so bad, like you can't be carried type of bad, you know? Remember, this is a solo tier list, so this is you queuing by yourself. If you play poor with any of the characters in A, you're most likely hard griefing your team. Like, it's super hard to win. It's super hard to win. Nick said A4 again. That's actually funny. He's not an A, I main him, but you main the character though. Most skills. That's the thing. We're not basing it off of anybody who mains them. I think he's super disgusting if mained as well. But we're not basing them off of maining. If that were the case, this whole list would be kind of flopped around. We're just basing it if someone's like, hey Poppin', I'm like, what's up? Recommend me a character. Who would you give me? If I say Winter Soldier, my thought to them would be like, Winter Soldier's great, but only if you know how to use them. You see? I don't need to say that for Squirrel Girl. Bro, Squirrel Girl is great even if you don't know how to use her. Spider-Man is great even if you don't know how to use him. Even though a lot of you guys are biased about that. Y'all are like, Poppin'? No. But I'm not budging off of it. I'm not budging off of Spider-Man. No matter what tier list I'm making until they remove 3 of his web swings and 1 of his punches and 4 of his web shots, he's busted. He needs to have 1 swing that resets if he gets a kill. Otherwise, he's dead. He needs to have 1 time he can shoot his web tracker at somebody or whatever it's called. And he needs 1 punch. Do that to Spider-Man, he's balanced. Bet. Otherwise, broken. But I think he deserves to be an A. But I think he's higher. I think he's below Punisher because Punisher is easy compared to him. But same concept. It's like, you're not doing well. So that's what that is, period. So yeah. Let's talk about Wolf. The eye test with another super... Relax, bro. I'm an Iron Fist main, and he's become the tickle monster against squishies. Either they need to buff his damage against tanks instead of being a Teemo Wolverine, or put him back how he was. This man said Teemo Wolverine. Or Teemo Wolverine. No, you didn't. When I first read it, I knew what I read, but it didn't register what I read until after I went back to read it again. But yeah, I do know that little change, but the only way that I'll defend that I don't know about a reset kick now, but the only way that I'll defend that statement is because the higher ranks you get, the less effective Iron Fist becomes. I still think Iron Fist is a great character at high ranks, but he's not as effective. So your timing has to be better. And if they are going to try to turn him into a tank buster, he is going to lose damage to damaging the backline. And if we're running 3 healers, you're definitely not killing anybody, right? So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I see where you're coming from. I don't know if a reset kick, I don't know if that's the solution, but I do see where you're coming from. I see exactly where you're coming from. All right, next we have Wolverine. Most skills said Poppin', put him on S and call it a day. Really? Really though? Hey, Jiku also says put him on S. Tragic says Wolverine is broken. I see some A's. The Spider-Man hate is PTSD. Franklin said. Actually, I don't have a problem with Spider-Man. It's my team, personally. The only character I realistically have PTSD for is Magik. Like, that character, nah. But if I ever have any issue with any other character, it's usually from my team. Cameron, see? Y'all saying C? Balanced? Bro. All right, so here's the thing. I get both sides of the story. I get why you guys say S because he's, but I also get why you guys don't say S. If we bring it back to how often, do you win with a bad Wolverine on your team? It is not nearly as much as a good one. And when I say bad, there's Wolverine players that realistically cannot land ult. I don't know if you like pay too much attention to ones that are on your team, but like I've seen multiple Wolverine players that are really bad. Well, they'll ult in the sky, hit nobody. And it's like, or they'll ult in really weird spots. They'll ult without rage. Like, I don't know if I can honestly say, if I were to say, hey, like someone were like, hey, I want a DPS to learn. I'm like, what's up? Can you pick one for me? I can't honestly say I would say Wolverine. Like realistically, I can't honestly say that like I can recommend Wolverine to just a random person and they will pop off. I mean, Tragic, I get you. But remember, we're not just doing it based off high rank, right? People in high rank have just really good skill set in general. So like, as an example, I can play Wolverine. I don't main Wolverine, but he is an easy character for me to play and possibly just do decent with. I get that. But I'm also a higher ranked player. If we give someone in like gold Wolverine and they don't really know how to play Wolverine, they're gonna have a miserable time. And like that's what we're kind of like thinking about, you know? He does get banned a lot, but sometimes they won't ban him because I'll force ban Magik. And I would say I'd rather go against Wolverine than a Magik. Any day of the week, I'd rather go against Wolverine than a Magik. He's banned 100% of the games for a reason though. But yeah, that's high. That's good players though. Like that's really skillful players. So that's kind of unfair to say that about all ranks, because not all ranks are very skillful, right? They're still learning. If you're bronze, silver, gold, you're still learning how to be that type of Wolverine. I think when you're in lower ranks, Wolverine becomes way more inconsistent. And I think that's the thing. It's like some games you'll do well, some games you won't. But when you don't do well, you will lose. Even in high ranks, like I said, I mean, I've beaten Wolverines. She's just not an auto win. You know what I mean? I think if you lose to Wolverine or win, it really determines how good the tank is that's going against the Wolverine. I'd never get caught up on a Wolverine. I learned my lesson the first few times it happened, and I never get caught up anymore. But when I see other people play tank, they like get snatched up so many times, it's kind of ridiculous. That being said, in low ranks, people fail it a lot. Oh, it's hard. It's hard. I think I'm gonna go with A. I see Tragic. I see Cornholio. I see where you guys are coming from, but I just can't, with a good conscience, say that this character is S because in low ranks it is not popping off like that. So I'm gonna put him at A, but I'm definitely gonna put him at high A, like maybe right there. So I think people hate Magik, but it's the same thing for a tank's POV for Wolverine, bro. Yeah. The Spider-Man is A. Look, Cornholio. Okay, you have to be a good Wolverine to have impact. You don't have to be a good Spider-Man to have impact. As long as you go in, knock somebody up, run away before you die, and repeat, that is Spider-Man. You're not budging me on that with Spider-Man. I don't think anybody's budging my opinion on Spider-Man. This is the third tier list I have done, and Spider-Man has been in every single one of them. A good Magik is hell to play against. I agree. I think a good Magik is disgusting. I think a non-good Magik is disgusting, but it's manageable. A good Magik, you just can't play. You just can't play the game. Maybe Smurfing and needs a bunch of Spider-Man to beat his ults. That's a good one. I like that one. That's actually hilarious. That's actually hilarious. He's trying to get more Spideys in his lobby so he can hit Eternity. Yo, okay, I'll say the thing about Spider-Man in high ranks is typically when you're a high rank player, more often than not, you are disciplined enough to swap. I think not swapping is a low rank thing. Once you hit like Grandmaster, people are way more inclined to swap. In Diamond, people are very egotistical in my opinion. People in Diamond have so much ego that they don't care. Bro, I play this character. I'm the stuff with this character, bro. I don't care. Win or lose, I'm playing this character. But like once they hit Grandmaster, it's like they mature a little bit more, and they're like, all right, I'll swap. And so when usually a Spider-Man is played, or you know any other characters played that they're not really doing too hot with, they will swap. But usually when you're that high, you're a god with your character, or at least close to it. Like you're really good with your main if you actually play that character. And I don't know many people that are in high rank can straight up say every Spider-Man they go against is easily dealt with. Look, I firmly believe that anyone Grandmaster Plus that ever has to go against that character, without a doubt, can agree he is a pain. And that's people who actually understand how to deal with Spider-Man, and he's still an issue. You put this in the low rank, people who don't really know how to deal with the character, and he's even stronger. You know, he's even stronger. Plat is hell on earth. Yeah, Plat is rough. The thing about Plat, I'm gonna wrap this up. But the thing about Plat players that I noticed is that they're so keen to follow any trend from a high ranked player or YouTuber or streamer or whatever. They're so keen to follow a trend and not have any clue how to do it. I don't know what happens between gold and diamond, but people in Plat do every single high elo strategy in the freaking book, but don't know how to do it, and they lose for it. It's like if y'all just play normally, you guys would win more. And then once they hit diamond, they just like figure out like, all right, that ain't it. But I'm just super shocked. I'm super shocked that's where it starts. I can't wait for Blade. I need a new character to master. Yeah, Blade's gonna be my man. Oh, I'm gonna love some Blade. I'm gonna love a lot of the characters that they said that they're gonna drop. They're gonna drop some X-Men. I'm waiting for that. They're gonna drop, like you just said, Blade. I'm really waiting for all these. Any character be a nightmare at any rank? Nah. Cornholio, nah. Even if you main the character, I don't agree with that one. That's an outrageous statement. I don't think I'd have a problem with a Groot. Well, I have a problem with his walls, but like the character itself, I don't really have a problem with him. Rocket. Nah. And like, the thing is, I guess when I say a problem, it's more of like you need to deal with them, and if you don't, they will probably win the game, right? That's kind of what S is at. Spider-Man just needs to be dealt with. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. You're not letting this guy just swing around everywhere. You have to deal with Spider-Man or you're probably gonna lose. Tragic says, I'm solo taking, the other team has 2-2-2, and they love trying to fill team ups and not know the characters. I do agree. I think it happens a lot more in like super low ranks. And then as you climb, it starts to decrease. unless the player just wants to get carried, I guess. But yeah, I don't really like when I see that. It's like, you can't play the character. Why are you trying to team up, bro? I'd rather you be good on a character than you be not a player on my team for a team up. Like, what? Bro, what? Why do you do this to us? We've been streaming for 3 hours, guys. We've been gaming today. I will drop a quicker version of this tier list. So if you missed anything, I'm gonna drop a quicker version, have a little bit more of straightforward talk about each of them. So that way you guys can just watch it. Maybe like 5 minutes, maybe. But I know this is a very long stream to rewatch if you've already caught the end or something like that. So, you know, if you want to, you can, but I'm gonna make a shorter version. I'm also gonna drop another video today, and it's going to be when to peel as tank. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for that, so I'm gonna drop that. It was actually done before I streamed, but I didn't want to drop it and compete with the stream, so you guys had to wait. But I am dropping that. So if you guys are like one of those people that were asking that question of like when to peel, how do you peel as a tank for your team, etc., etc., I made this video. Hopefully it'll help you guys. Hopefully it'll help you guys understand the thought process. At least that goes through my head when I do it, whether it be high ranks or low ranks. But if not, I done screwed up. But I tried so hard. It's such a hard topic to teach. It's definitely one of those like trial by fire type of things. Finally got to gold. Auto locking Namor. Thank you, populist. I think Namor is good. He's a solid character. Are you gonna do a more normal tier list, like just for how strong the characters are overall? Usually I don't do that, only because I personally don't believe a character is strong or weak based off of data. I used to professionally coach League of Legends 13 plus years, and I obviously played a crap ton of that game back in that time, and I never believed in tier list. If a player is good, the player is good. So when I do tier list, I always vow to not really do one based off power numbers or just like how effective their win rates are and stuff like that. Because if you like a character and you get good at that character, you can reach high ranks, period. So that's why I don't do it. I also know there's a whole bunch of other people that do it too. So it's kind of pointless for me to do it at the same time if there's already more out there. So I like to do more of like the around the way type tier lists that have a little bit more meaning, I guess, rather than the typical it's strong or it's a weak type playlist or type tier list. Whether or not you guys like that is a different story, but that's just why I don't do it. I don't do it that way. I had a Moon Knight one trick, have to play Cloak. Worst heals I've ever seen. Yeah, if you're first time in characters in ranked, you're most likely not gonna do well. Like, the character that you main is why you got to your rank. You playing a new character effectively makes you bronze. Maybe even worse. So anyway, that's that, guys. We're gonna wrap up this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't really know what the next stream will be, but I'm gonna try to make something. I know some people were like, you should do some reviews on stream. You should do like a coaching on stream. I didn't even plan to go back to coaching, but people have been asking me. I don't know. People are like, Poppin', I would like to hear the other person's perspective when you do their reviews and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know. I put that chapter behind me, but maybe I'll try it again. Maybe I'll try it again. Thank you for your videos, especially the one showing how to use Venom as a sponge properly and not randomly diving. I made it to Diamond 2 with your tips, but I still have a lot to learn. No problem, Richard. No problem, Richard. I'm glad it's been helping. That's my main goal. You know, I try my best to think about what you guys have issues with and then, you know, doing like that. Streaming some games would be so cool. Or would be cool. That is the plan, but it's not happening yet. I said this in my last stream that this is why I was playing normals, so I might actually still play games in normals, but the goal was to hit 1 above all on console. That's what I usually play on. I got close last season, but I didn't get it. This season, I just started late. But this season, I started earlier. But the leaderboard, these people are freaking gamers. They have so many points. But I want to get one above all first to say, like, I basically beat the game on console. And then what I was going to do is climb on PC. And so I was going to stream that instead of streaming my console. But I wanted to hit that first before I did that. So that was the plan. That was the plan. So that's why I kind of backburned that. But once I do that, I probably will have more streams of gameplay. So that's the plan for that. Anyway, of course, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to upload a video right after this, and then I'm going to like do the tier list and then upload a tier list as well. So if you guys want the short, sweet version of the tier list, I'm going to make one. Thank you, members, for being members and supporting the channel. Of course, it was great to see all of you guys here. Thank you. Thank you. Super chats. Thank you. The eye test with your crazy Iron Fist balanced idea. And Cameron Williams, thank you also for your super chat. I appreciate that as well. You guys are awesome. It was a great time. It was a great time. And I hope I could do it more. But I just don't want to overbook myself, overcommit myself. I am running a separate channel. If you're a YouTube creator, the second channel is called Growing Often with Lofton, and that's going to just be helping gaming content creators grow their channel. I recently rebranded it, so I hid all the previous videos. But if you're a creator and you're looking for some help and you want to start getting your brand up and whatnot, it'll be there as well. So that'll be that. I don't think One Above All is different from Eternity. I don't think so either. I think it's a personal thing. I might actually just not go for it. The thing is, if you really want to climb to high ranks, you have to have like the will and the determination to do it. And I have to see if I really want to do that, right? Like, me being a higher rank technically doesn't do anything. Like, no matter what rank you are, it's never good enough for anybody. But still something I want to do for me. So I guess that will be. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, much appreciated. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I'm having too much fun streaming. I will stream another time. I will obviously let you guys know in the community post. But thank you for being here once again. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the members. Look out for the videos coming because they will be. And then I'll also be doing the reviews on Friday and dropping those on Friday, hopefully. If not Friday, it'll be Saturday. Thank you guys for all being here. Again, much love. Peace, peace, late. Until next time, you know what I always say. Think you guys are doing what? Popping often, real often. Have a great rest of your day or night, whatever time it is, whatever time you're watching. Peace, peace.